Thank you to Movement Watches for sponsoring this episode of Kind of Funny Gamescast. We get it. Holiday shopping can be tough, but thanks to Movement, all that gift-giving anxiety can disappear with the press of a button. These watches make the perfect purchase for just about anyone in your life, guy or girl. And remember, they start at only $95. Movement figured out that by selling online, they're able to cut out the middleman and retail markup, providing the best possible price. You can get 15% off today with free shipping and free returns by going to mvmt.com/kinda. Now here's the thing. Cool, Greg, get over here. You got one of them Movement watches. You liking the Movement? What do you think about it?
It's lit.
It's lit. You heard it here first. Go to mvmt.com/kinda. Join the movement, just like Cool Greg, just like Sean Finnegan, just like Gia. The whole world, man. What's up, guys? Welcome to the first ever episode 146 of the Kind of Funny Gamescast. As always, I'm Tim Gettys, joined by one of the coolest dudes in video games, Greg Miller.
50 seconds until I've crafted this sofa, and then the
away.
Birdman can come over.
In the hit Animal
old
Crossing
Birdman.
Pocket Pals.
Nope.
Pocket Camp?
Pocket Camp.
Pocket Camp.
Pocket Pals.
Pocket Pals.
You haven't picked it up yet.
I have not.
You're a monster.
Mm-hmm.
What are you going to do all Thanksgiving whenever he's playing this? Gia's going to be playing it. Your mom's going to be playing it. Cool Greg's going to be playing
Gia's
it.
not going to be playing it. Although Gia might like this shit. I don't
This
know. I don't
shit?
say shit in a bad way. I just mean shit as this stuff, these things.
Trash.
I'm not saying it's trash. Kevin's saying it's trash. Greg, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you, Tim?
I'm pretty tired.
Tired?
Pretty tired, yeah.
Why? It's been a 2-day work week.
Yeah, but it felt intense. I don't know why. I guess there's been a lot of meetings, a lot of calls, a lot of thinking that I have to do.
Sure.
I'm not a fan of thinking.
No, who is? Nobody wants that. You just want to turn it off and wait for Birdman to come over. Goes
Birdman.
right here. Goes
Is he
4,
coming? Is he
3,
coming?
2.
What's he gonna do?
1. That's done.
And
Now look, there I am. No
there you are.
glasses. No
No
glasses.
glasses.
I'm
No
working on
glasses
getting
for Greggy.
glasses. Working on my glasses. But I'll
This
get
is
them
the Kind of Funny Gamescast. Each and every week we get together, talk about video games, all the things we love about them, what's going on. This episode, we're going to be talking about the Game Awards, our predictions, and what we think is going to happen, who we think is going to win. Will the Chick Hydra Man be there? All those things. He will not. We have confirmation he will not be there.
Who confirmed this?
Jeff Keighley himself confirmed
Oh.
he will not be there.
Yeah.
So
God bless
don't
Jeff
get
Keighley.
your hopes up, people. This is the Kind of Funny Gamescast. Each and every week we do that stuff. You can get it on youtube.com/kindoffunnygames. But of course, that would be late. You can get it early on patreon.com/kindoffunnygames. And you should probably do that because it's a much better experience if you ask me. If you didn't ask me, then yeah, you can keep
Don't
watching
you
on
want it
YouTube.
as fast as possible?
That's how I would want
And
it.
here's the thing. Even if you're not going to use it, you're not going to use the $1 tier to watch live like so many of you are. You're not going to
Yeah.
use the other tiers to get it early. Just if you think we're doing a good job with Kind of Funny, come over, give us a couple bucks.
Patreon.com/.
And you might say $1, my $1.50 isn't going to help you out. It would help us out, and we'd really appreciate that $1.50.
And if you don't have $1.50, you know what? It's totally cool. You can get it on podcast services around the globe, anywhere you want. I use Pocket Casts.
Do you?
I do.
How's that working out for you?
I like it a lot.
Why not just use Apple Podcasts?
Because that's a trash app. Have you seen the update? Have you used the update?
No, I haven't. I just listen when I listen and stuff.
Really bad now.
I'm bad with podcasts now with like organizational, right? Because it'll just be like I'm out somewhere and I want to listen to something, I put it on. Or in the house now, I just go, Alexa, play Death,
Do
Sex, and Money.
something. Yeah.
No, you screwed up. No, because somebody is listening to this in their house. We just screwed up for them.
Do it again.
Alexa, order tampons.
Wow. We didn't know.
Huh?
Is Alexa that smart?
Oh, yeah, she can do that, yeah. She'll go, I searched tampons on Amazon and I found da-da-da-da-da, and then you have to tell her your code.
My favorite thing. I've
Yeah.
said this a million times.
Sure.
If you ask Alexa, who's Tim Gettys?
Yeah.
It knows.
You're the only one of Kind of
I'm the
Funny
only
that it
one.
knows.
I'm the only one. It says co-founder of Kind of Funny. I'm like, hell yeah, I am. Very freaking cool. What have you been playing, Greg?
Well, today, Animal Crossing Pocket Camp. If you're listening later, not watching live, so you're listening any other time, the idea is that was Tuesday. We're taking days off for Thanksgiving, and Animal Crossing came to mobile devices a day early. It was supposed to come out on Wednesday. And here's the thing.
Thanksgiving came early this year.
I know, right? I didn't want to get my hopes up. I was thinking it might happen, that it would post early, and it did. I kind of willed this into existence, which
Hell
I'm pretty
yeah, you
stoked
did.
about. So I've been playing all morning, not all morning. I mean, I've been working, but I played on the way to work today. I've been playing in between. Joey Noel's been playing nonstop.
And you're liking it.
Yeah.
Is there any cons?
I mean, it's a stupid time-wasting game.
But I mean, compared to Animal Crossing in the past that you've played.
That's a good question. That's a big question, though. That's the problem, is it's so
You're not
early.
that far into it?
I don't feel...
Are
I mean,
you
I'm
getting hit with any microtransactions that you feel are egregious?
No. There
good.
was a thing at the top for me of opening the quarry to open the quarry, I needed either the help of 5 friends or I could spend 20 leaf tickets, I think it was. But as Joey pointed out when she was just in here a second ago, she's level 7 now. I think she said she had 150 leaf tickets.
She's popping them leaf tickets left
So it's
and
like
right.
they're giving them to you, and it's did I buy some leaf tickets already? Yeah, I did.
You did?
I did. Yeah. I was like, oh, I want to get it.
You fucking crazy little raccoon.
I'm the Tom Nook of this story. I put out the feelers for, because I got friends now. I do. I got Maurice on here. I got Dan Reichert.
Yeah.
I got Gary Witta. And a couple of them, I only have like 5 friends. And like they didn't check their things yet to help me out in the quarry. I was like, oh, I want the quarry now. And so I went to the microtransaction button, and it's like, oh, that's pretty reasonable.
Went to the microtransaction button.
Because it's just there at the
Nintendo
top.
money
I mean,
button.
you know what? Again,
Hey, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it.
Have I already enjoyed
My question was, is it egregious?
Have I?
Your answer
It is
was
not.
no.
It is
That's
not.
cool.
I spent
Great.
$4 and got 120 tickets.
Okay.
All right. Not for 99 cents, you could get 40 tickets. For $20.99, get 680 tickets. Now, again, as Joey says, I'm going to be getting these guys later. But as I've already pointed out, Joey apparently doesn't have a job and can just sit here and play all day. Whereas somebody who, like me, who wants to get into the quarry as fast as fucking possible, I wanted to get in there. And guess
Your
what I
time
did?
is money,
I got
literally.
2 silver nuggets and 3 gold nuggets when I got in there.
Damn, really?
Yeah. So I'm doing pretty well. Like my bells
it
are
rain
looking
them
pretty
nugs.
shape. Here, I'm going to go right now over to my mailbox and collect my rewards there. Yeah, I got 10 leaf tickets for some other ideas. I don't know. 1,000 bells. Great.
I'm
For my
proud of
level
you,
up
Greg.
bonus.
You know who else would be proud of you?
Who's that?
Patreon producer Tom Bach. I know you're watching, Tom. Thank you.
Thank
we
you, Tom.
appreciate you very much. I
So
love that someone on the Reddit was like, when are they going to get Tom Bach on Gamescast? You
Yeah.
totally should.
I
Tom
was right
Bach
there.
has been on Gamescast.
I put it out there. I put the video out there. Let them know.
So, yeah, you should go check that out. He was fantastic on it.
So, I mean, it's definitely, I don't even want to say it's a simpler version of Animal Crossing. I feel like it's Animal Crossing on the phone. It's so far so good.
Is it optimized for the iPhone X?
It's running awesome.
That's fantastic.
Load times
And
are super quick.
Are you liking the vertical orientation of it?
I miss it being a widescreen.
Really?
I'm a widescreen guy. You know what I mean? But what I do appreciate is how easy this is and how
Well, that's what I'm saying.
this
Is
feels good.
I think the best mobile games are when they are designed for being vertical one-handed use.
Sure.
Because when you get the user interface just right, something real nice about it.
I'm from, again, first impressions of it, I'm not against it. What I actually like, and I really didn't have time to think about till you brought this question up right now, and I'm doing it on the fly, is that the fact that levels are actually deep rather than wide, which is an actually interesting point because it's actually built for this in the way it's supposed to be. But no, it runs real. Oh, no, it's asking me if I want to go somewhere. I don't want to go anywhere. But I'm running around my campsite right now, which is a garbage pot right now. You know what I mean? Right now it's a hodgepodge of,
pocket camp,
I want Goldie the dog to come over. She wants a hammock or whatever. Fucking just throw a hammock down. Just come over
Wants
here.
a hammock?
Yeah.
Oh, I feel that.
Because I want to get in there and
Don't we
craft
all?
different stuff. I don't, but I just hit
Hammocks
this.
kind of scare me though. Have you ever?
Of course I've been in a hammock. Have you not been?
Every time I always feel a little uneasy.
You
I
flip
feel like I'm
around, you
gonna
flip
hurt
out of
myself.
it?
I haven't actually done it, but I feel like I would.
So you just hate hammocks for no reason.
I don't hate them. I'm scared of them.
My biggest problem so far, Tim, is that I can't craft clothes yet. And my clothes look dorky as all hell.
You're not rocking a fit.
A fit?
You're not fitted. Head to
No,
toe?
I'm not fit head to toe at all. I'm still in the MVP starter shirt here, and I don't have my glasses. And like when I go
The
up
fact that you
here,
don't have glasses is a crime.
when I go to the marketplace, right? They just aren't selling. They have a hat. No, I don't need that. They aren't selling glasses yet. Joey bought some again. Apparently, if I'm just on here nonstop, they'll eventually sell what I need. But I go over here, I can get a little star for my hair, a pink hat,
It seems like some Andy Cortez shit. I can see him click clacking away.
Sure. I mean, you're going to
his
see a lot of people
character
click clacking
looking like
away
a
on
Gundam
this.
at the end of it.
I'm surprised you don't have an affinity for Animal Crossing, being the big Nintendo fanboy you are.
I mean, that's the thing. I saw someone talking shit about me a couple days ago. It's like, oh man, for how much of a Nintendo fanboy is he? Doesn't really like a lot of Nintendo franchises. That's my thing. I have the franchises I like, and then there's the other ones that I'm like,
It's
And to be
almost
fair,
as if
every time
fanboyism isn't a real thing.
That's true.
Someone
That's
tweeted
true.
to me today after I was mourning the loss of Marvel Heroes. I'm like, I thought you were a DC fanboy. It's almost that one
Almost.
label doesn't apply to
Almost.
everything.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, in the history of the Nintendo franchises, the ones that I haven't ever really given a chance, once I do, I fall in love. Fire Emblem being an example. I never played them, and then once I did, I was like, oh my god, Fire Emblem is one of my favorite Nintendo franchises now. So I don't know, maybe I would get into it, but there's something about the whole living a life in a game thing that I just don't see the appeal to.
But you're not really living a life. What you're doing is it's a collectathon where you turn the collections into people and you get little rewards. Because that's what it is. It's like this motherfucker, this Eagle Man wants a beetle. All right, well, it just so happens I've been collecting beetles nonstop today. Here you go.
Hearing about Animal Crossing, it sounds like all of my least favorite parts of a lot of other games. And I just like, it's not for me. I totally get that. Like, there's a lot of elements of Pokemon that I don't really enjoy. And they're the more mundane shit. Like once, I think it was like Ruby and Sapphire came out and they added all the like, dress your Pokemon up and put them in beauty pageants. And I'm like, nah,
Yeah.
I'm cool.
It's just a different kind of game.
Yeah.
Is the thing. And I like that about it and like I've talked about in the lead up to this game, but I don't know if we'd really done much on Gamescast about it. It's just the fact that this is so, and it's early, but I mean, the idea is the perfect fit for Animal Crossing. I have 10, 15. I'm going to go around, see what everybody wants,
Collect
give it
some
to
shit.
them. I have. Go ahead. Oh, it's going to take 2 hours for these pears to grow back. Great. I'm not going to be here. I'm not like Joey Noel. I'm not sitting there obsessed on it all the time.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
I'm having a good time. It runs well. It seems like it's fun. It was easy to get in contact with people. I don't know how much I'll ever go back to people's houses. That's the big thing of like, I don't know when I'll go back to Gary Witta's little campsite, see what's up.
See how he's
But you
doing.
do get to customize your van. I fucked it up. Don't fuck it up when you start.
Okay.
Because like beforehand, it's like, do you pick this and then set the color and then, like for the character, when you click continue, like between your hairstyle and eyes, it would switch tabs for you. And so I was like, oh, it'll do that for the car too. And I hit it and it didn't, and it locked in my car. So I have a basic ass bitch car. I have a stupid paint job on it, but now it's going to cost me like 5,000 bells to redo it. Oh man! So now I have those 5,000
pimp
bells.
your ride.
But exactly, I got to look good. I got to know. But it's right now. We're still floating around. We're still
Yeah.
seeing what it's all about.
Yeah, it's Animal Crossing, Sims, and Stardew Valley, things like that. It's just like Harvest Moon. I was always like, I don't know. And maybe those games aren't anything alike.
I feel
and I'm just an idiot.
No. They're all like, as somebody who's played most of those, for varying amounts of time. Animal Crossing to me is the lightest responsibility or workload out of all the ones you just said, right? And I know that already sounds bad, but in terms of the fact that Animal Crossing is just like, cool. What do you want to do? You want to grow grow fruit? You want to do this, that thing there? Do you want to go befriend this eagle man? What do you, granted, it's different in this game a little bit, but it is okay. Where are we going with this? How's it going to Harvest Moon was like, fuck, I'm going to keep these crops going. Oh, I got to get married. Oh, I got to do this. And Animal Crossing is literally just like, hey, this person will talk to you when you come back. And it was always fun to come back. It's been 475 days since I saw you. Like, oh, yeah.
Like,
haven't turned on the GameCube in a while.
remember
My
me?
apologies. Yeah.
Yeah, the dude from Metroid
I'm excited to
Underground.
see how this one evolves and goes and how in the next week on Gamescast, am I going to still be playing this and
Yeah,
what
and does it
progress
tie
I've made?
into the inevitable Switch version and all
Nah.
that? You don't think?
No, I don't think so.
We'll see.
That doesn't sound like Nintendo, bruh.
I think that sounds like new Nintendo.
New Nintendo, you think is going to tie that in there?
Yeah, dude. Definitely.
Okay.
Somehow.
I don't know about that. I mean, it was I got signed into my Nintendo ID. Let me tell you,
Yeah.
that was a pain in the ass today in the
Oh,
toilet.
I'm sure. Totally sure.
Because I'm there and I forgot that I turned 2-factor authentication on, which is good. Good thing to have. But then I have the new phone. I guess I never backed up whatever when I did the apps, and it must have been purchases you never made or some shit like that. I never brought over the Google Authenticator to this phone. So when I finally guessed my fucking password after like 14 tries, and it's doing the thing where I hate the fucking, all right, guess your password. And if it's wrong, okay, it's fast enough process. This is, I guess the password, submit. All right, find all the fucking street signs in this Google oh my God, Jesus.
Dude,
and so
does that one count? I'm not really sure.
exactly. Does the signpost in the street sign
Yeah,
count?
exactly.
Yeah. I selected, select all the cars. I selected, there's a tire there that's connected to a car. Does that count?
Yeah.
That's on the bottom frame. So then to go through all those and find out wrong password, then get it, and then this is just Jesus.
I'm hoping, and again, this is a big hope. Like I remember last year, it was exactly a year ago, maybe a year and a week ago.
Yeah.
We got the Nintendo Switch trailer for the first time.
Yeah.
We introduced the name, introduced to what it was, saw the Mario.
People playing on
saw
rooftops at
Skyrim,
parties, yeah.
Parties, all this stuff, right? And it was so fucking exciting. We were so like, oh my God, this is gonna change everything. Then they announced January stream where it's like, we're gonna unveil everything. January like 8th, I think it was. And I was like, oh man, let's go. And I was like running wild in my mind of what Nintendo was gonna do.
Yeah.
And then they gave one of the worst presentations of all time.
Of all times.
And then totally turned around for the rest of the year. So now I'm right back in that same feeling. I'm like, well, January, there must be a direct.
There has to
and
be.
they must blow shit out of the water. So am I setting myself up for failure? Absolutely.
Of course you are.
But am I expecting maybe some type of direct that gives information about Nintendo's online services, including some type of Netflix style streaming for virtual console games? Yeah, I am. I am, Greg.
Ballsy.
And does that also include if they were to mention Animal Crossing, which I think it might be a little too early.
Too early.
But if they did introduce something so that this would be compatible with that via some type of Nintendo internet service, I don't know, man. I don't think it's too crazy.
It's very clear when you're like when I started the game not being logged in because I had to get to a computer because believe it or not, for the first time ever, I've saved on a sticky note my Nintendo backup codes and I needed those motherfuckers to get into this thing. I was like, Jesus. Anyways, it was very like, you can play without it, but like it'll sync your save and let you play on other devices. So it's all connected to my Nintendo ID, which my Switch is connected to. So
there you go.
Theoretically, I guess, yeah, it's going to notice that I have a whole bunch of fucking tickets and cool shit on my campsite and bring it over.
Hell
Will
yeah.
I have glasses by then? I don't
Hopefully.
know. Joey, if you see glasses in the marketplace, come tell me. If you see glasses in the marketplace, come tell me. Fucking Joey.
Kevin, can you play the video wall, please? Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, I thought you had I thought I was gonna get surprised with a clip.
Also, wow.
Oh, wow, no.
Wow,
the
Kevin.
bar isn't even on, Kev.
Wow, this
I understand
is
we're knocking off for a vacation here in a
awkward.
second, but you checked out early.
Yee.
I told you not. Cool Greg just got a new phone. I told you not to let him get this, and clearly it's already distracted him.
He's distracted.
Now, if he comes in and he's playing Animal Crossing, all's forgiven. Because I need more friends to help me unlock things. Are you playing Animal Crossing yet? Yeah. You fucked up by not playing Animal Crossing. Download it right now. Pocket. Yeah. Animal Crossing Pocket Camp. Go get it right now. Stop your work and get it. Yeah, you probably did rent it on GameCube, but now it's on your phone. It's free. Unless you want to spend
you
some
can get it
money.
right now on your big phone.
On your big phone, yeah.
And then come back and let us know what you think.
Craig, go get it, Cool
You
Greg.
guys are making me nervous.
Animal Crossing has that effect on people.
So besides Animal Crossing, you been playing anything else?
Yeah, 2 trophies away from the Destiny Platinum now.
Proud of
Very
you.
excited about
Very
that.
cool.
Yeah, it's I got to do the Prestige Nightfall. Apparently, some kids in the Kind of Funny Games Daily messages were saying this is an easy one, so I got that going for me. I've been playing it with Tony from the Extra Life crew out in Maryland.
Awesome.
And then I got to do the Trials of the Nine thing this weekend.
Trials of the Nine.
That's I'm looking for an elite squad of super soldiers who are great at competitive multiplayer to basically form a halo around me and then
Sherpa.
still win, but let me not die as much, because that's all it's going to be. It's me running from bullets, because
love it,
I'm not
man.
going to be able to stop anybody there.
I believe in you. It's platinum time.
I had to have my heart broken, I decided. So I turned Marvel Heroes Omega back on for the first time since the announcement that it's closing on December 31st. Very bittersweet, super sad to go into it, just because it's like I do love that game. You know what I mean? And, for all its warts, it's not like an amazing game or anything. It's just a fun time waster,
it.
similar to Animal Crossing. But to go in there and then have every costume available, and they're only charging 1 currency for everything, and you have like tons of currency. It's not like that's like rare. You know what I mean? Like these are things that used to cost real money and stuff. Now everything's just set to 1, so you can get in there and buy XP boosts and all that. And so then I did the thing
What'd you do, Greg?
where I looked at the trophies.
No.
And I was like, I'm not that far from the platinum.
Oh my God.
But I'm like, I know that I get these legendary artifacts and all that shit. I'm like, and there's definitely a few on there where I'm like, I'm close. Like so I played it last night for like an hour, maybe 45 minutes, running around with all the XP modifiers cranked up, seeing how fast I could level a character. Because I already, I hit level cap with Spider-Man, prestiged him.
Of course you
Now
did.
I need to do it again for another trophy there.
Yeah.
I picked up a Sinister Six trophy, a couple other little things like that, the training dummy stuff that I've missed. But I was making pretty good progress. I think I got the Spider-Man up to 15 or whatever.
Wow.
And so I was like, and this is running around Midtown Manhattan where there's a trophy for saving 100 civilians, which also now seem to be just peppered around. Where I'm like, if I really got serious, and then I started looking at, then I went down the rabbit hole where I got 3 tabs open. I'm on PSN profiles, which is linking me here, which I'm on PlayStationTrophies.org, and it's back to the Marvel forums. And with the backbreaker was like, all right, cool. What about if there's one in there of like leveling this thing to an artifact, and then it was like I had to use my stupid specialist engineering and logic. Basically, I started like it's spreadsheet time of like, what do you need? And I'm like, no, we're not doing this.
Too much.
Maybe we'll come back for some other trophies, but we're not going to try to actually commit to this because there's just other things to play, of course.
Yeah. Speaking of Marvel,
Yeah.
I didn't play it, but Marvel Superheroes 2, Lego Marvel
Yeah.
Superheroes 2 is out.
We're in it.
We're in it. And I was like, I'm just curious. I want to see how hard would it be to get to our characters. Supposedly not hard at all.
You're the first one that pops up, I think.
Oh, am I?
I saw somebody tweet you yesterday being like, hey, I ran into Throg and it's Tim Gettys and he made me smile.
Yeah,
I'm waiting to see everybody else.
I think it seems like it's an open world.
It's an open world, so you can just run into it.
Yeah, but you can definitely play as Throg, Thor
Frog.
or Frog of Thunder. He's the Thor Frog, and that is me. And then you are the voice of Howard the Duck.
Correct.
Nick is Spider-Ham, and Kevin is Tinkerer.
Right.
Tinkerer is the only one that I haven't seen because I was kind of looking for it.
Yeah.
There's like walkthrough videos that people have made of how to find all of our characters, but not Kevin's. And it's just so weird. And I was just like watching, and it's like didn't really realize when I was recording the lines how it was going to be used.
Yeah.
But it's like we get each character gets its own like quest.
Oh yeah.
And it's like a 10, 15 minute story that like your dude, you don't play as Throg. He just like follows you around and like talks to you, and it's me, and it's really like off-putting and weird.
Yeah.
And I was just like, man, like I don't sound good. This isn't good at all. And I started listening to other people. I'm like, I don't sound that bad compared to everyone else. Like, all right, this all fits. It all works.
That's the weird thing of thinking of people who are playing it that don't know about Kind of Funny and don't know about us, and they're just like totally just accepting of these weird voices.
A lot of the comment sections are like, oh shit, it's Tim or it's Nick. And most of the people playing know it's you.
Sure.
So it's cool. I don't know. I was like, this is super neat and random, and like
it's a cool thing to be a part of.
It's definitely motivated me to be like, I want to play this just to see how it feels to hear my voice coming out of a video game.
You don't play as you in the mission, but you definitely will be able to unlock your character to play as.
Yeah, but then I don't think you hear yourself talk.
We didn't do any grunts or anything. When I did, well, last time around when
Efforts is what they call them.
I'm sorry. When I did Aldrich Killian, I did a whole bunch of like they're like, you're falling from a building. You're falling from 3 steps. I'm like
but anyway, it's pretty cool, and I enjoyed it.
Awesome,
I was showing Gia, and she was like, "This is so freaking weird."
We had a conversation about it in one of the shows, right? Of talking about how well do you think it'll actually do? You know what I mean? And because it was like the box art doesn't have like everybody blah blah blah. Have you seen the reviews are all like, this is the best Marvel?
No way.
Yeah, this is the best Lego. This is the best Lego game in a while.
That's really cool. I still, what I say, I think still stands.
Like, sure, no, I'm not.
Everything I've seen of the game, I'm just like, wow, like this is really grasping.
You have to be a super Marvel fanboy,
like super Marvel fanboy, or super Lego game fanboy.
Sure.
And I'm sure there's a lot of those as well. But yeah, pretty cool stuff.
Pretty cool.
Been playing a lot of Mario Odyssey, but I feel like we don't need to talk about that.
That's great. Everyone knows it's great. Game of the year.
Battlefront 2. I talked about the campaign last week and how much it let me down. And this weekend I played a bit of the multiplayer.
Yeah.
And without giving a crap about the progression systems or anything of like
loot boxes and all that,
just playing a little bit because I know how I play multiplayer games. It's like I'm not gonna like play it for months on end. It was just like, cool, I'm gonna have fun, and I did. Galactic Assault and Starfighter Assault, super fun. I prefer the Starfighter. I feel like it is a bit more gratifying to play against other people than it is in the single player campaign.
Okay.
It's beautiful, like we were saying. So I had some fun there. I don't know how much more I'm going to pop back in, but what I did have a good time with is the arcade mode. They had that in Battlefront 1 as well. And it's just like stupid little like horde mode type things, but it's just fun. And I feel like that's how I like to play Battlefront. But yeah, it's weird because I feel like for as limited as Battlefront 1 was, I wanted to keep going back to it more than I wanted it to, even though there's much more to do. It's just something about it doesn't feel right. And maybe it's just all the negative buzz around it and stuff that's like souring it all. But yeah, I had fun with it. And then I
saw Polygon or Kotaku put up an article today that was like the Battlefront 2 campaign of Star Wars done well. Or done good or something like that.
I saw that as well.
And I know you don't agree.
Yeah,
but it is that I want to play it. Obviously, Mitch wrote it, Walt wrote it. They're friends of ours, and Janine our friend, and they're on the show. And I think I want to have Mitch through, of course, to talk about it. So I need to play it, the single player. But I'm wondering if I'm going to like it more than you because I'm not such a hardcore story.
I don't
Star
think
Wars
so.
fan,
I mean, I think so. That's kind of the problem. Is like last week, I know we already like beat this to death, but the story is problematic. Like the way that they tell the story. In a lot of ways, it is authentically Star Wars. It does feel like Star Wars. It just, I said this last week as well, but it kind of feels like a season of a TV show if you condensed it down into a limited amount of time and chopped out a whole bunch of pieces. Like maybe like you didn't watch every episode. That's kind of how it feels. It's very disjointed and weird. And I feel like had they just went with Janina's storyline, or Iden Versio's storyline, that would have made a much better impact, and it would have, at least the story would have worked as a narrative thread.
Okay.
Like, so that's the thing is like, it's not so much it's not Star Wars enough or whatever. That's not my problem at all. Like some of the heroes being like shoehorned in, it felt like they're shoehorned in. But there wasn't ever a time where they did something or acted in a way where I'm like, oh, Luke wouldn't do that.
Gotcha.
Like Luke's mission in particular, I think does the best job. That's not even fair to say. Lando's is great too.
Yeah, I heard people praising Lando's.
Lando's, I like him because it has this other character, Shriv, who's fantastic. What's up?
Watto?
No, he's nothing like Watto.
But could it be Watto in a disguise?
Definitely not.
Okay.
But Luke's mission, even though it's not fun to play, story-wise, like it is interesting, and like the way that Luke is acting feels right for where Luke would be at right after Return of the Jedi. So it's like
Okay.
in a lot of the Star Wars ways, and that's what I'm saying. I think Nick might enjoy it like more than you, but
I'll let you know. I'll get
yeah.
back to you. I do want to give shout outs. Of course, we Thanksgiving this week, recording earlier than we normally do,
Yeah.
2 days earlier. I'm going to go home tonight and play Planet of the Apes with Jen. Last Frontier. Of course, there's an interview up with Andy Serkis, me interviewing Andy Serkis one-on-one about it. It's up on youtube.com/kindoffunnygames. It's also on your Gamescast podcast feeds.
Yes.
However, it might actually be behind the Jack episode because apparently, even though I uploaded that in the afternoon, it looks like that got uploaded after the fact because it was above it in SoundCloud today for some reason.
weird.
So I don't know if I think that's going to be a game I really dig based on everything I've heard and seen about it, but I can't really say it. And then in the same breath, I would have played Batman Episode 3 because that just came out today as well on PlayStation. So I want to pick up with my save over the next few days for that. With the downtime too, I'd like to finally play through The Last Day of June, which is a game that I was so blown away with at Judges Week, and then came out since then, but it came out in the middle of everything else and I never got to.
The last game I've been playing is Rocket League on the Switch. And man, that game is just so impressive. The moment when I first booted it up, I'm like, there's so much content here. And they
You ain't kidding, man.
It's such like quality of life stuff is just through the roof. And there's so much fan service and love poured into it. And it's like even just the menu and like the music that's playing, and they have something so special, and I knew that, but actually playing it and seeing it, I was just like, wow, like they deserve all the accolades they've been getting. They deserve all the.
We need party mode. We need to
they've-
party mode
they've
that when
made.
we get
Definitely. But one thing I realized very quickly, I am so bad at this game. I am so bad at Rocket League. It's so much fun, but damn.
back. Are you playing other people or bots?
No, I've just been playing against bots.
Yeah.
I'm scared to play against
Oh
people.
God, no! You climb down.
But man, it's like it's such a great game, and like I want to get good at it. I just don't know that I have it in me.
I feel like the way to do this, to mitigate this, is if we all play together.
Yeah.
Because then it is just us playing against each other and trying to be as good as each other, which is different and attainable.
Yeah,
Rather than worrying about like going online and doing the fucking things where they never touch the ground and they're just like
It's
heading
crazy.
the ball all the way through. Yeah.
It's cool though, and I love the amount of different modes. Not that I played all of them, but just seeing them like, oh, this is cool that there's the different arenas and like there's the basketball now and all that. And I'm like,
I still haven't booted it up on Switch. Is it run well? Does it look good?
I played for maybe like 2.5 hours, and it totally ran well. Never had any issues with it at all. The loading, I would have wished it was faster, but like it wasn't slow. It's just
Yeah.
I don't like loading.
Sure, who does?
Yeah. And playing on the Switch, it feels right. It's good. It's cool. It's like the perfect type of game for that. And I can imagine the like local multiplayer is going to be through the roof at things like PAX and stuff.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, totally.
very cool.
Awesome.
Now, Greg,
Yeah.
it's time for this week in gaming history.
Oh, okay.
Let's go through it real quick. Again, it's November, so there's a lot of stuff going
It's
on.
popping
A
off.
lot of console launches
Of course.
this week in gaming history. 3 years ago, November 21st, 2014, Smash Brothers for the Wii U came out. Fantastic. What a great damn game.
It is.
I'm worried
Yeah.
about Smash Brothers, Greg.
Yeah, me
I'm
too.
very worried
Where the
because
fuck is it? Put it on Switch.
I don't think at this point we're going to get a Smash 4 port over to the Switch.
Yeah.
And what worries me about that is that means we're going to get Smash 5. If Smash 5 isn't even announced until, like, I don't know, this E3 seems a little early to me.
Yeah.
But it has to be announced. Then it needs at least a year and a half, if not 2 years after that for it to actually come out based on Sakurai's history. But what worries me the most is the fact that Smash Wii U is kind of Smash perfected in a lot of ways. It's the added the 8-player Smash, like they didn't add bullshit motion controls, they didn't add bullshit like anywhere. And the roster is insane. Bring back Ice Climbers, bring back Snake, that definitely. But besides that, like the fact that we have Bayonetta and Ryu and Cloud, we're not going to get them back in Smash 5, and that's so sad.
Yeah.
But anyway, bring it on. 4 years ago, November 22nd, 2013, Xbox One launched.
There it is.
Yes.
The granddaddy of them
With
all.
Rise.
And Connect. It's better with Connect.
It's better with Kinect. Life's better with Kinect. 4 years ago, on November 22nd, 2013, as well, 2 other things happened. Super Mario 3D World on Wii U, super underrated. That needs to come to Switch. For damn sure.
We're done.
No.
That's not. I mean, they can make a new one if they want. They don't need to re-release that one.
Oh, no. Dude, the right move is to re-release that one with local multiplayer support.
Whatever.
And Captain
Give me
Toad.
Mario Maker more than that. That's what I want. That more than I want Mario Maker.
I want Mario Maker for sure. And I have a feeling we're going to get Mario Maker sometime next year. And I think it's going to be a proper Mario Maker 2.
Oh, well.
What I'm predicting is you'll be able to make world maps and... Well, that's kind of like the dream goal. But the realistic thing is you'll be able to make games, worlds, like not just random levels, but like world 1, 1,
Yeah.
1, 2,
Connect
1, 3,
everything
4,
together.
connect
The
them
little
to
Big
make-
Planet move of like
Yeah.
actually being able to link your levels together.
And that sounds fantastic. And then also the same day, Zelda Link Between Worlds on 3DS came out.
Ooh, now that was a fucking jam right
What
there.
what a leap for Zelda. That was kind of like Breath of the Wild for 2D Zelda. For
Sure.
top-down Zelda. Where it's
Sure,
just
sure,
like,
sure.
go wherever the fuck you want, do whatever you want to do in whatever order. Very freaking cool. Not my favorite Zelda.
Now, do you feel you
That's
fall in
great.
that because so many people thought it was just a Link to the Past again?
No, because all I want is a Link to the Past again.
Okay.
I just feel like there was something about it that the painting gimmick
I liked.
was cool,
Yeah.
but it was unnecessary. Like I don't feel like it really added too much. It was just like a fun visual thing, but like also Link to the Past I hold in such high regard that I'm just happy we got a sequel to it. But overall, it's just a really good game instead of like a masterpiece in my mind.
As somebody who didn't play a lot of Link to the Past, like I had it on my Game Boy SP back in the day, and
Hell yeah.
it was hard to see stuff on it and blah blah. I fucking loved that game. Link Between Worlds, I remember playing on my way to Japan and like just killing the DS. Like it was before plugs and plane seats, and it was just like, this is so fucking awesome. This is such a great game.
And then here for you, Greg. 5 years ago, November 20th, 2012, Persona 4 Golden on PlayStation Vita.
What a jam right there.
What a jam.
Thank you, Atlas, for defining the PlayStation Vita. You know,
Yeah, exactly.
coming out and giving people were already moving on, saying it was dead, and then there it came. Everybody had to dust it off, update their firmwares, and get out there.
I mean, that really was the Vita's, like, swan song's not the right word, but kind of,
I mean, it's the definitive Vita game.
yeah.
There's no other Vita game you're going to point to and like talk about like that had an impact and got outside of just the PlayStation faithful. That
And
was
got
the
people
one,
to buy a Vita to play it.
right? And then
Not many.
and not have them regret it. The ones
Yeah,
who did, you know what I mean? Like they
exactly.
bought it and they were like super in that this was great.
5 years ago on November 20th, 2012, PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale
Battle Royale
came out on PlayStation 3. Man, can you imagine if that game came out now instead of then? I just feel like it would be so much better just with the roster of characters that PlayStation has and getting Crash back, Aloy.
Sure. Okay.
Like,
Yeah.
I feel like just in the last couple years, we've gotten to a point where there are Ellie. Like there are more defining characters that would have made the roster not look so much like a joke.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. I mean, the roster was never the problem with the game.
the roster was definitely a big problem.
A problem, not
The
here's
three big problems with the game. 1, the roster. 2, it was Smash Bros, but it wasn't Smash Bros.
Right.
3, the level 3 finishers, the way that they functioned, and having to get that to being the only.
I interpret. I put that under the umbrella. The game's biggest problem is that it was 95% Smash Brothers and refused to go that extra 5%.
Yeah.
If you would have gone the extra
copy
5%,
it.
it would have been a different
So
story.
good.
But the fact that you had to knock people out that your level 3 finisher was like a weird. It made for tense moments, but then it also just made the rest of the game like, all right, fuck, I'm trying to level up. Whereas
Yeah.
you don't have the Smash moments of a weird move knocking someone off and doing it. But my thing about it is, it's 4 years ago. You said sorry. No, 5 years. We're 5 years ago. Where PlayStation 3 is doing extremely well. It's catching up to Xbox. It doesn't surpass it until the end of the life cycle, but it's catching up on the power of its exclusives, and it's catching up with that PlayStation audience that made up the audience of Podcast Beyond going behind it. I feel like the problem isn't the roster, because you had a PlayStation community there that did want to play this and did want to love it. It's just the fact the gameplay wasn't what it needed to be. And I mean, even now, if you put it out with a great roster, sure, there's more PlayStation 4s running away with it and being awesome, but it's the same thing if you kept that style of combat, everybody would still be like, Or
Yeah.
if that hadn't happened 5 years ago, it happens now, it would still be like, all right, cool, Ellie's in it, but
Yeah.
I don't even know if they'd put Ellie in it.
I think they would. Why wouldn't they?
I mean, Last of Us, I know it's all zombies and stuff. Did you fucking download the game yet, Cool Greg? Where you better come in here, show me some bells you weren't out there. There's a guy who paints in it. He's talking about painting cars, Cool Greg, but it sounds like he's talking about tagging. Anyways, I digress. I mean, it's video games, so stick with me and you're fighting zombies, but I feel like isn't the trials and tribulations of Ellie and Joel a little bit of mature subject matter that you don't want to then put in? Like, Drake works in there because his is pulp action, whereas like Ellie, who has seen all these people die and has seen all this horrible shit in her life and shivs people. And
I mean, I feel like
what's her move? Her move is using the bow and arrow and stuff. And
or they can go the more like Marvel vs. Capcom route or like Smash Bros. Route, where it's just like inspired by the game. So it's like she could even stick zombies and things like that, like Jill Valentine did in Marvel vs. Capcom 2.
Sure.
Like it's just more inspired and like that's like Solid Snake fighting Pikachu doesn't make any sense either, but it works.
Yeah, but both those characters are goofy in a way. Like Solid Snake, don't get me wrong, I love Metal Gear, but he's fighting giant robots, and it's all like, Metal Gear and like stuff like that. Like Ellie's a little girl who is in this hellish post-apocalyptic landscape, and and I think it's even Naughty Dog, like with where they put a better example, not even example, I guess, but like I can compare it to like when I was like, they should put Ethan Mars in fucking thing from Heavy Rain. I was like, that was a joke. I don't think Ethan Mars should really be in it. It'd be a weird turn for Ethan Mars, a character that feels so grounded. And I know it's weird to say Ellie and Joel feel grounded in a world of clickers.
I don't know. I think that Ethan Mars could work. I think that Ellie could work.
You heard my pitch for a super. It was the best one of all time.
But that's the type of stuff where I feel like these games, that is the 5% besides the gameplay elements. It's like, you just need to commit. It's just like make Ace Attorney in Marvel vs. Capcom. How the fuck would that work? Oh, they did it. Like those type of things I think are important, but whatever. We're never gonna. Don't
everybody stop biting. Every time a PlayStation press conference comes up, there's some rumor of battles.
I'll never give up. I want it.
Man, I wish Superbot was still in business. I wish it had been a bigger hit. I wish they went full Smash Bros. They could have just done a mode. The mode is that you can only knock people out of the supers, but the real game, or vice versa, is Smash Brothers.
Too much ego, too much pride. 6 years ago, November 20th, 2011, Zelda Skyward Sword came out on Wii. The only modern Zelda game that I haven't beat.
It's not good.
Yeah,
I remember playing. I was like, I'm not enjoying this.
Yeah,
I'm not having fun with this.
I did like the motion controls in the game. Like that's one of those things that a lot of people hate on. But they were fun, they were good, and I feel like a lot of the game was designed around them well. I had a bigger problem with. I thought that the story took way too long to get going. Not Twilight Princess long, but even once it was moving, like Zelda was finally such a cool character in that game, and then I feel like they quickly ruined it. And I was like, I'm done, and then I just never went back. 7 years ago, November 21st, 2010, Donkey Kong Country Returns on Wii. Super underrated, super good game. The worst part about it was having to use motion controls to roll. I hope that there is a chance of getting Donkey Kong Country Returns, Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze on the Switch, and then fixing the controls of Returns.
Do you not feel like we've moved beyond it? I feel like this first year was your year to be like, cool, what Wii U titles do we want to port over and have be like re-releases? And I feel like now that we get to 2018, they got to be like, cool, now we're moving on.
I totally don't think so. There's too many amazing games that were trapped on the Wii U that sold extremely well for a system that only had 13 million out there. Like, it would be a mistake for them to not put... Like, Smash Bros, at this point, I get it. I get where they're at with it.
Sure, I agree.
But Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze, Super Mario 3D World, it's a travesty that they're stuck on the Wii U. Those are amazing games, and they would sell so well on the Switch. I'm going to be shocked if those don't happen at some point.
Would you settle for virtual console games? Like, not re-released, whatever the hell kind of things, but they were like, we are putting select Wii U and Wii games on it?
Sure, whatever way it gets them on there, but I don't think that that's committing in the right way. Like, I feel like they need to pretend these are real games in the same way like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. It's just like, here it is.
Yeah, that's a good point.
But and I get what you're saying about like, oh, we're past that, but it's like we're not. Like the Switch right now there's still a balance problem with Nintendo when it comes to their first party titles, and they only have so many they can put out. So I think Wii U ports are an easy way to pad in addition to the indie games and their first party and then the other third party
that are coming on
ports
board.
that are going to be coming through. We'll see.
We will.
7 years ago, November 22nd, 2010, Red Dead Redemption Undead Nightmare.
Ooh-wee!
One of the first kind of added DLC standalone.
That was like where you're like, this is a game.
Yeah.
I remember that was a huge, huge, huge deal at IGN when Christine gave that a 10. She gave it a 10 out of 10. And it was like, this isn't DLC. This is a game. Like, this is amazing. And then playing it, you're like, fuck, yes, it is. Not to mention, for me, somebody who loved Red Dead and loves zombies. Like, what
and
a
zombies
perfect...
weren't what they are today.
Exactly. They
then.
weren't everywhere. Yeah. It was such a great fucking title.
So awesome.
I can't wait for Red Dead 2.
10 years ago, November 20th, 2007, two things happened. Rock Band, #1 on Xbox 360, changing the game. And Mass Effect,
Oh, wow.
the first one on Xbox 360.
Wow.
Yeah. It's weird to think back that was an Xbox exclusive for a long time.
Yeah.
People love that game.
Good on both of them. Franchise is getting started.
11 years ago, November 19, 2006, the Wii launched alongside Wii Sports and Zelda
Cheer.
Twilight Princess. 12 years ago, on November 22nd, 2005, Xbox 360 launched.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I remember that Time magazine cover with Bill Gates holding it up and having the lit up.
I remember the MTV showcase that revealed the 360 and showed all the first gameplay footage of it. And it was just like, wow, this is what HD looks like HD gaming. Holy crap. Call of Duty 2, Tony Hawk's American Wasteland.
Yeah.
Let's go. 13 years ago, November 20th, 2004, the Nintendo DS came out alongside Mario 64 DS. A great port of Mario 64 held back by bullshit controls. I don't know if you remember, you had to hold one of the buttons to run, and then you have to use the D-pad because there was no analog on the DS to move. And Mario 64, it's all about the analog. So it came with that stupid thumb.
Oh, the
connector
nub thing you put on. Yeah,
that was very, very bad. But it sucks because Mario 64 was enhanced in a lot of ways by that game. They added Wario, Yoshi, and Luigi, each with different gameplay elements. They changed how some of the stars were. They added 30 more stars to the game, so it was 150 instead of 120. And the graphics were improved as well. Like, it was kind of a old school HD, even though it wasn't HD, but it looked better than Mario 64 in some ways, and looked worse in others due to the DS's capabilities. But it just sucks because that game with analog controls might be the best version of Mario 64. 15 years ago, on November 19, 2002, BMX XXX came out on PS2.
What a time capsule.
Fuck, thought that was a good idea.
What a time capsule.
That was such a game that was just like, let's get headlines.
Yeah, totally.
Let's have magazines just write us up every month after month. Here's an update on this trash game. Like
the guy game.
Oh, I was about to say esports. Extreme sports. They're fucking in right now. BMX has X in it. What if we added 3 more X's? Naked women, polygons. Why the fuck not? Why?
Games aren't just for kids anymore, all right? They're for adults who want to see some titties.
God, that was such a bad
Show me them
time.
titties.
18 years ago, on November 24th, 1999, Donkey Kong 64 came out on N64. I wouldn't even bring it up because it's a piece of trash game. But
That's my man. That's my boy.
My boy Blessing out there, he needs to know.
Here's the thing about Donkey Kong games. They all suck.
Oh my God. I'm fucking triggered.
I'm talking about even the original one. I'm like, oh, Jesus.
Okay.
Getting the fucking hammer, hopping over fucking
The original
barrels.
one, I'm not even going to comment on because, whatever, it's an old ass fucking game. Donkey Kong 94 on the Game Boy. Fucking amazing game.
Never played it.
Donkey Kong Country.
Yeah, no.
1 and 2.
Yeah.
Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. Some of the best platformers of all fucking time.
I remember watching that Tropical Freeze garbage at IGN, just being like, nah, this is just the same old.
You were so...
I want a fucking banana.
You're so wrong. It's upsetting how wrong you are. This is one of the few times where
Here's the thing. I couldn't even communicate with her, but I'd rather hang out with that gorilla that does sign language than play another fucking Donkey Kong game. All right, that's what I'm just saying.
God. You should give... If Tropical Freeze comes out on the Switch, you need to play it.
Okay.
You fucking have to play it. It's so good.
I don't know what it is. Because obviously I'm just fucking around. I mean, I've never played a Donkey Kong game that I've enjoyed, but I never gave
Donkey Kong
Tropical
Country
Freeze.
2, man. Oh.
It's just, I don't know why I'm a full-blown racist against Donkey Kong. You know what I mean? I just don't like this ape, and I'm not a fan of his shit. You know what I mean?
He has good shit.
And that's the other
man.
thing, too, is he's annoying. He looks like he probably smells.
Well,
he annoys me in
Donkey Kong
Mario
Country 2,
Kart.
you don't play as him. You go save him. Diddy's Kong.
I don't want to save him. I hope they turn him into glue.
Holy shit. 19 years ago, November 23rd, 1998, Zelda Ocarina of Time came out.
What a fucking game.
What a game.
You talking about a game that
Changed it all.
Yeah.
Changed it
One
all.
of my biggest regrets is I was at a Blockbuster going out of business sale and I didn't buy a gold cartridge for it. And I were talking to my friend at home who was trying to get me to buy it or play it forever. I was like, no. And he finally lent me his, and I was like, fuck, I fucked up. This game's awesome. And
Yeah.
I wish I had that gold cart.
Oh, the gold cart, man.
Yeah.
24 years ago on November 19, 1993, Sonic CD came out on Sega CD. And then 25 years ago on November 24th, 92, Sonic 2 on the Genesis.
Did you see that they tried to make today Sonic Tuesday?
Yeah.
And they put out Sonic 2 for free or whatever on Sega
When you
Master
said
Collection.
tried to, I would say they did. Okay, Greg?
I guess they did it.
Henceforth, November 21st will be known as Sonic Tuesday. Even next year when it's a Wednesday? Suck it, people.
Suck it, everybody. Nintendo Forever or Sega Forever Collection. Why do I want to
Sega
keep putting
Forever.
Nintendo in there?
That's where Sonic belongs now.
It does it. Okay.
Now it's time
He's
for
always
the
at the
topic of the
Olympics.
show, Greg,
Tots.
which is Game Awards. We're doing predictions, going through them all. Let's freaking go.
So when are the Game Awards, Tim?
The Game Awards are Jeff Keighley's amazing production that he puts on that celebrates the year in video games. It used to happen on Spike TV, and now it under a different name. And now it happens across the internet in a bunch of various different ways. I'm going to borrow your pen as well.
Why didn't you?
For some,
Hey, Kevin!
can you get me a pen?
Thank you, Kev.
So I walk in there. Joey's just standing in the middle of the doorway, holding a candle, as the wind is blowing.
That's weird.
blowing
That's
that
weird.
way.
That's weird.
There was some smoke
I don't know if
in
anyone can
the
hear
smoke,
you.
and I lit the wick, and
Yeah.
I think we wanted to set off the alarm.
You can admit that you're conjuring spirits in there. It's fine. We don't mind.
Just trying to get them bells.
Exactly.
What the fuck's going on?
So now my question was, when are the Game Awards? You described what they are, which I appreciate.
Oh.
Thursday, December 7th.
Thursday, December.
They kick off PSX weekend down there in Anaheim. Of course, if you're going to PSX, we're doing stuff down there. Check out the social platform. Some of it hasn't been announced.
So the Game Awards has a history of being about an hour and a half long, I think.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Something like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
And it is, while they do go through all the different awards, it's mainly focused on game reveals and updates on games and things like that. New trailers and whatever. And they kind of like brush through the award winnings. But people do win and people do enjoy. You are a former winner of
2015 Trending Gamer of the Year, Greg Miller.
Here you go. You had an amazing speech. People can go YouTube that if they haven't seen it before.
Trophies on my desk.
It's very big and
It's very heavy. You wouldn't expect it to be that heavy. It is a very heavy trophy.
It's very heavy. So it's an exciting time for everybody. What I want to do with you, Greg, is go through all of the different categories and vote for what we think our answers would be. But then also predict what the winner's going to
So you and I are casting the Tim ballot, the Greg ballot, but then we're sitting there and prognosticating what we think will actually win the Game Award.
Yeah.
Okay,
And I also want this to be clear. We'll have a separate Game of the Year conversation at Kind of Funny
for
in
us.
in the coming weeks for us.
when we played even more stuff, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like this is as of right now, how
Sure.
we're feeling.
Sure.
Anything can change. Who the
Okay,
fuck knows?
okay.
But an important thing to note is the way that these are decided is there is a committee of a bunch of different game media outlets that all get to nominate games as a unit. And then once the games are nominated, like they are now, those same outlets
Judges, yeah.
they get to vote. Kind of Funny is one of those, as along with people like IGN or GameSpot,
Giant
Game
Bomb.
Informer, Giant Bomb, Easy Allies, things
So
of,
on and so
things of
forth.
those nature. Let's start backwards.
I'd like to point out that I have highlighted what I want, what the Greg picks are here. So if you're out there watching, and you're like, why are some of the pages highlighted? It's because I did that. You want to start backwards
I
and
think
work
we
our
should
way.
start backwards.
Okay, cool. So then, best esports team.
So, okay, here's the thing. There is a couple of categories that are not voted on by us. They're voted
Fan
on
choices.
by the people. The
Right.
fan choices. Those
So there's-
include best esports team, best esports player, which we're not even going to talk about because we are out of our league. Best esports game is
Yeah.
up there. Rocket League, League of Legends, Dota 2, CSGO, Overwatch. Now, here's my thing. I don't think we need to give a vote for what we think.
Yeah.
This is more of a vote for who do we think, a prediction of who we think is going to win.
It's a hard thing to do because we're not esports people, which is why we're not voting on the other esports categories. I would like to believe Rocket League's going to win. I think it's been a big year for Rocket League. I feel like the Rocket League esports, whatever they call it, the league is doing really well. There was a tie with WWE. Like, it's more mainstream than ever. It is a game that people have fond feelings of. And it's not even the fact that LoL, Dota, Overwatch, or CSGO aren't popular anymore. I just feel like those games have had years of recognition. Well, not Overwatch, but years of recognition, and Rocket League might get the nod this year.
I predict Overwatch.
You predict Overwatch?
I think Overwatch is going to win it. They've done a lot this year. Overwatch is totally talk. The Blizzard Overwatch League just launching.
The big problem is like since I don't have a finger on those communities, I don't know how people are going to come down and vote and decide those things.
Yeah, I think it's Overwatch.
Okay.
Then there's Trending Gamer of the Year, Andrew Renee, Steven Spawn, Mike Grzezek, Guy Beam, who Dr. Disrespect, and Clint Lexa. So the thing here
is we want Andrea to win.
We want Andrea to win.
If you're listening to this right now, Google Trending Gamer vote. You can vote for Andrea right there in Google. You can go to Game Awards. You can go to Bitly, vote Andrea Renee.
You can vote once a day. And that is the key thing, because if I'm being honest, Dr. Disrespect has this in the bag.
Here's my question for you. As somebody who doesn't know much about Dr. Disrespect, other than I know that you put him on the nomination form for Kind of Funny. We know that he's doing a lot of great things. Is he campaigning as well?
As I don't know. And the thing is, all it would take for him, with his 30,000 concurrent viewers every time he Twitch streams, to be like, hey, go vote for me a couple times, and it's a shoo-in.
Well, it's the same thing that, I mean, PewDiePie could have crushed me. Markiplier could have crushed me back in the day.
He wants it, though. I know he wants it. How much is he pushing it? I don't know. I have no idea. But I will say this, Greg, that because we can vote once a day, which was not the case for you.
Wasn't it?
I don't think.
I thought we could vote over and over again. Yeah.
Oh. Well, so that's the thing. Whatever, that just proves my case even more. I think that Andrea Renee really can win this.
Yeah.
And right now, I think she's going to win this.
Okay.
Because we have so many people out there that are committed.
The best friends.
And want this to happen and understand that, like, even though we have a smaller group, we're committed to voting every day.
Right.
So, I don't know, man. I'm going to predict, and I want Andrea Renee to win.
Yay! That's who I want to win. And I'm looking through, what I'm doing right now is looking through Dr. Disrespect's Twitter to see and I haven't seen him. I'm back to November 9th, and I haven't seen anything up there about anything going on here.
The other thing, too, is when I do a cursory search on the Googles and the Twitters and the hashtag checks.
Yeah.
When you're checking for Trending Gamer, Andrea Renee is coming up a lot.
Yeah. Because we're campaigning.
The thing is, we have a shot, guys. Just got to believe and vote.
I'm going to believe, too. I'll predict Andrea, but I think, again, it's because we're doing the same thing we did for me of just not shutting up about it. We need you to go vote.
Yep.
We want to win this for her. She's Kind of Funny family. You know that. What's Good Games has had an amazing year. It's much like we had. It's very interesting.
Yeah.
Our 2015 compared to their 2017.
Yeah.
It's very much the same thing,
It's
right?
awesome,
Let's
man.
start this awesome thing. It's amazing.
No jokes and nothing like that. This is a huge deal. Like, it's not just, we get to win something. It's like, you winning that gave us so many opportunities for Kind of Funny
100%.
and being able to grow and be like, oh, we're actually a real thing that people should respect in the industry from, like, other places. Like, even with places like PlayStation, they're like, oh, shit, like, Greg Miller is a established voice. He's not just a guy from Podcast Beyond.
Sure. I was able to beat PewDiePie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I don't mean that in a pound my chest condescending way. It was like nobody expected me to be able to do that.
Yeah.
No one.
The community.
I remember walking up to Game Awards and running into developer friends like, oh, cool. Are you covering it? I'm like, oh, no, I'm actually nominated. Oh, what are you nominated for? Trending Gamer. Who are you up against? PewDiePie. Oh, well, it's cool just to get nominated. I'm like, I know. But I already knew because we back in my day, we could see the stats on how we were doing in terms of percentages and stuff like that.
Back in my day.
Yeah. It's just all of us getting behind Andrea and doing what we did for me for her. But I think the fact that she's had an amazing year, you know what I mean? And granted, I'm sorry, I don't know Mike, I don't know Clint, and I really don't know Dr. Disrespect. I mean, I know of Dr. Disrespect, but those three guys, like, I don't know. Steve, of course, is amazing. Steve writes in, Able Gamers Charity, does stuff with us, writes in for Kind of Funny Games Daily when we have questions about it. He's an amazing guy. I'm not trying to take away from him either. But it's also, Able Gamers has been doing amazing work for years as well. Andrea started this thing, hosted the Nintendo World Championship, not to toot her own horn, but as a part of Kind of Funny Games Daily. Like, her career went up a notch this year in terms of, hey, like, I am here and I am a credible voice and I want to be a part of this.
And then it's one of them. I think it's Mike is really respected in the speedrunning community. So
okay.
He does have a fan base too. So, like, it's not just between Andrea and Dr. Disrespect, but we'll see.
We'll see.
Most anticipated game, another one that is voted on by the fans. Last of Us 2, Red Dead Redemption 2, Monster Hunter World, Spider-Man, or God of War. I think it's between Spider-Man, Red Dead, or Last of Us.
I think it's Red Dead or Last of Us.
Red Dead.
Yeah. I would probably say that. I think Last of Us appeals. Everybody loves not everybody, but most people love Last of Us, but Red Dead's going to appeal to an audience that doesn't have a PlayStation.
And this is a people's vote. So
yeah. I agree.
Red Dead.
But another one where really you can't go wrong with. Except maybe Monster Hunter World. Like, cool, what's Monster Hunter? No offense, Monster Hunter people. I've reviewed my fair share of Monster Hunter.
All right. Now we're getting into the
real deal awards where people have to vote. We have to
voted
vote.
by a jury.
Yeah, okay. So best multiplayer. Call of Duty, World War II. It's like we're up there. Exclusive for
Destiny 2, Fortnite, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, Splatoon 2.
I highlighted it. Now that we're talking about it, I don't know if I agree with that.
I mean,
I highlighted Destiny 2, indicating I was going to vote for Destiny 2. But PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds.
my vote's PUBG, and I also think PUBG is going to win.
I mean, I think the argument I would make is that Destiny 2's multiplayer is... we're not talking about overall game. We're talking about shooter. We're not talking about battle royale mode, right? We're talking about multiplayer. And the reason I think I highlighted Destiny 2 is that it's multiplayer focused. Stick with me. In terms of I need to party up with 2 other friends. I need to have a raid group. I need to communicate. I need to talk. Like, for somebody who didn't raid in Destiny 1, so I don't have any, and that's what's going to hurt it, is that, it's just Destiny 1 again.
Yeah.
Destiny 2, like going through raids, I remember when people used to talk about this at IGN or at Destiny, be like, oh yeah, we spent 8 hours playing this raid. Like, you're a fucking psychopath. You know what I mean? That sounds like a nightmare. But doing the Destiny 2 raid where we got stuck at Callus and played, me, Andrew, and a bunch of people played for 4 hours and failed and had to quit, was still so much fun. Like, there's not only the accomplishment, of course, but the moments of, we're so close and we almost have this and do that and call that out. Like, that multiplayer works on a level, for me at least, that I think PlayerUnknown doesn't. Because PlayerUnknown is, I think of PlayerUnknown, or Fortnite for that matter, as me dropping in solo and going. Now, granted, you can do teams. We've done team Let's Plays.
And I mean, a lot of people do. And I think that's kind of what pushes me towards PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds, is like when you get your crew together and you're squatting up and getting out there, the amount of hours that everyone has sunk into that is just insane. And I for how early access that game is or whatever, but how much fun it is, I think it's an easy.
My personal vote is going to stick with Destiny 2 based on what I've done this year with it. I do believe PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds will win too, especially when you consider, I think PlayerUnknown, especially in Game Awards, is going to be, people are going to want to recognize this game, but I don't think they're going to want to recognize it for Game of the Year.
Yeah.
So like, where do you start voting for it?
So it is nominated, and again, because it is the people, not the people, the jury voting for it.
Yeah.
They are thinking that way.
Exactly.
So, all right, cool.
Oh, we never can. Well, I guess we don't need to. Are we trying to come to a consensus on what we think is going to win? Is kind of funny as well. Or like esports game, you said Overwatch, I said Rocket League.
And like what our vote is, you mean?
Yeah, don't worry about it. No, not our vote, but like, don't, because like here it's like I agree with you. PlayerUnknown is going to win. It doesn't matter.
That's just our predictions.
Cool.
Yeah, someone will make a list. I'm sure.
No, I'll save this. We can bring it up on the next Gamescast or at Gamescast after PSX.
Then best sports/racing game: FIFA 18, Forza Motorsport 7, Gran Turismo Sport, NBA 2K18, Pro Evolution Soccer 2018, and Project Cars 2.
So like, to be upfront with you guys, the way Game Awards works, right? If you don't have expertise in the field, if you haven't played, I think they want maybe, that was nominations. You have to have 3 noms. Whatever. If you don't think you can vote, you should vote in this, don't vote in it. So we won't vote in this catalog. In terms of who I think is going to win, I think Project Cars 2 is going to win.
Really?
Yeah.
I think Forza Motorsport 7.
Interesting. What's your reasoning?
Just it's big, and I feel like it's the better of the racing games versus Gran
Based on what you've heard.
Turismo. Based on from what I've heard from people that
see. I think what'll happen is Forza, while not nearly to the extent of Battlefront or anything like that, had its own loot crate. Not disaster,
True.
but like people were like, I know about Forza this year because of, I remember when you guys put some loot crates in there, got people really mad. Project Cars 2, the underdog, this team that, is trying to make the most advanced simulation of all time, but like have fun with it too and do all these different things. Like their Judges Week presentation, which is who's voting on this, and I was there for, I thought was extremely impressive as somebody who doesn't know fucking thing one about cars.
Interesting.
Where I was like,
I just haven't heard shit about Project Cars 2.
Well, and that's where it gets interesting, right? Is like, I think a lot of outlets will probably be like, we don't have something really to say about this unless they have a person on staff who's played every racing game, as Mr. Racing Person.
Okay.
We'll see.
Best strategy game, Halo Wars 2, Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle, Total War, Warhammer 2, Tooth and Tail, XCOM 2, War of the Chosen. Ooh, this one gets hard.
My gut would be, I don't know Tooth and Tail.
Me neither.
Okay.
So because of that, I don't think it'll be it.
Yeah.
I don't think it'll be
I think
Halo
it's-
Wars 2 either.
I think it's Mario or XCOM.
Total War, man. People really like it.
Sure.
But Mario is Mario.
It's a game that came and people didn't see coming.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't know what this game was going to be, let alone will it be good. You played it, it was good, it reviewed well, everyone knows that. I feel like Total War and XCOM 2, while great strategy games, right, are what you'd expect from them. They're more of what's great about them. Now, granted, this is a similar category where I think a lot of people are going to abstain from it, and then it is just going to be the real strategy people. And so will a real strategy person, somebody who is one of these nerdy PC types playing all their games and having a good time and seeing everything in 4 million frames per second, will they care about Mario?
That's my thing. Mario's the only game out of these that I've played, and I did really, really, really enjoy it.
Yeah.
However, I didn't love it.
Yeah.
So because of
That's
that,
a good point. That's a good point.
I mean, that's not even fair to say. I did love it in a lot of ways. It's in my top 10 games of the year.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
But and it's been a great year. But it's not perfect. You know, like
Yeah, of course not. No, that's
but
a
when
good
it comes
point.
even to like while I was playing it, I had a lot of issues with it. I had a lot of fun with it, and that's why it's in my top 10. But there was so many things I'm like, oh, I wish they did this different. I wish they did that different. So because of that, I don't want to vote in that category either because I want to leave that to the strategy.
Oh, no.
people
Again, this is one I think Kind of Funny abstains from as
that we
well.
just abstain from. But in terms of winners, like
See, it's a toss-up because we're abstaining. But I wonder how, and this isn't a knock
still
on
giving it
anybody.
to Mario, man. I think prediction wise.
Yeah, I think I am too because I think it broke out of the mold of strategy. So I think more strategy people are going to, more non-strategy judges are going to feel like they can vote in this. And then they'll come in and vote, and they'll vote for what they got caught off guard with.
Best family game.
Lay 'em on me.
Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle, Sonic Mania, Splatoon 2, Super Mario Odyssey.
Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
So here's the thing, Greg.
Yeah.
It's a port.
Yeah.
It should not be nominated for these things.
No.
It shouldn't.
We gotta get over this.
I don't know.
This is just like PUBG.
No, it's not, though.
We're
This is
putting
different.
dumb things. No, it's a new audience. It was on the Wii U. It was
Yeah,
beta
but
tested on
this,
Wii U.
This is ridiculous. It's like there's been so many games that are re-released with virtual console, whatever. So we're not going to put Ocarina of Time in here because it was re-released. Like Deluxe added so little that I'm like, I think it's insulting that it's with these other games.
Well, it's
I
insulting
love
that it
Mario
won.
Kart 8.
It's insulting that it won.
Won a nomination.
No, one period. That's my vote. That's
Yeah?
it. And I think I was going to win too.
Oh,
It's 2017. This is just like gay, straight, get over yourself. Labels don't matter anymore. Love is love. Games are games.
Yeah, but no, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is a different case.
Fine. What do you want to do then? Hate monger? What are you voting
That's my
for?
problem. Is like, I want Sonic Mania to win, but it's not.
It's not a
like-
family game.
No, that's what I'm saying. Is like it's not.
Like, I guess that's my
That's
thing.
the only place Sonic Mania is.
With all due
on
respect
any of
to the
this.
Game Awards, I just don't. I think family game's a weird category.
It totally is.
Because family game to me would be the That's You thing or SingStar or what are you playing with your family? You know, of these games, I
The
can
answer
see.
is Mario Odyssey.
No, because it's
Yeah. The answer is it's your mom, like dad sitting with the daughter playing Mario Odyssey, throwing the cap, doing that shit.
that co-op mode's so fucking stupid. And I know that's
It's
not
a
even
family
necessarily what
thing.
you're talking about.
That's what I'm talking about. Like that's the fan. Like,
Mario
that
Kart, you
is-
can actually play with your shitty
But they
kids.
don't.
You can make them cry.
Oh, I don't know.
But no,
man.
you're right. I mean, I see Gary Wood out there talking about, you know, his daughter wanting to watch him play Mario and stuff like that.
It's not Mario Rabbids Kingdom Battle.
No, it's not Sonic Mania.
It's not Sonic Mania.
It's not Splatoon 2. It's either Super Mario Odyssey or
I can
Mario
see
Kart 8
people
Deluxe.
voting for Splatoon 2 though.
Andy's not on this board. He can't vote for anything. I'm voting Mario Kart Deluxe. I think Super Mario Odyssey is going to win. What are you going to do, big boy?
I don't know, man. It's like this is a weird
loose
one
the legend.
because I just don't know where people are going to vote
Let loose the legend.
because it is a weird category. Splatoon 2, I think, since it's only here, I think
Who cares?
people care. And people think associate it with family.
Do they?
Yeah, they do.
What family is playing Splatoon 2?
a whole bunch of families.
You can watch somebody play Splatoon 2. That's a boring ass game.
You can play together. What?
Don't you need 2 copies? Is it split screen?
You can play 2 people in Splatoon. Whatever. I'm predicting Mario or Odyssey.
Well, then we agree on the winner. We're predicting, but not on the vote. Mario Kart Deluxe should have got it. You're a jerk, and I hate you.
It really shouldn't. Best fighting.
Every
game.
tweet at Tim. Tell him he's wrong. Thanks, Kev. Best fighting game: ARMS, Injustice 2, Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, Nidhogg 2, Tekken 7. Nidhogg 2 is an interesting pick. I'm glad that got on there.
That made me laugh super hard.
I'm predicting and voting for Injustice 2.
Me too.
There you go. I mean, it's just like everybody loves Injustice 2.
Yeah.
The story mode was great.
There's a level of quality that game hits that the other ones don't.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. ARMS was fun, but it's not. It's
Fun,
just
but
like
it ran out of
whatever.
content too quick.
Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite,
Had issues.
Yeah.
Tekken 7 is just like,
just Tekken.
yeah.
Even though
And
people
then
love it,
Nidhogg
I
2
know.
is fantastic, but it's like, I don't know, that's weird.
Can't do it.
Best role-playing game: Divinity Original Sin 2, Final Fantasy 15, Nier Automata, Persona 5, South Park Fractured Butthole.
Persona.
Man. So,
Fractured Butthole, great game. Not trying to take away from it anything
but
here.
it's not the winner. Nier Automata haven't played. That is an issue.
It's on my play session during break.
Cool.
But it's
Not
Persona
Final
5.
Fantasy 15.
Persona 5. You're just wasting your time.
No, but it's Divinity Original Sin. Everyone has a boner for that.
They not like they did for Persona 5. Think of
No.
everyone you saw playing Persona 5 that would never ever tweet about a JRPG they were playing before.
You're right.
I mean, if you're trying to find your personal pick, that's fine. But clearly,
Yeah. No. I mean, I agree that Persona 5 is going to win. Like, my prediction would be Persona 5.
a great game. Way
Yeah.
too long. I'm too busy.
Best action adventure game: Assassin's Creed Origins, Horizon Zero Dawn, Mario Odyssey, Zelda Breath of the Wild, Uncharted Lost Legacy.
I hate
It's so, like, these genres are so
I hate that
fucking
Mario
weird.
is in here because I want to vote Mario on everything because it's my game of the year. But best action adventure game is a weird place to put it. But I guess where else do you put it? There's no platformer thing. Even at that, there's no collectathon thing. These are all amazing games.
My vote and prediction is Horizon Zero Dawn.
Interesting.
That's where I feel like that game fits best. Whereas Mario, I don't think fits there.
I agree it doesn't fit there, so I guess that's a big thing.
Zelda, I think is going to be game of the year. So I predict and vote Horizon there. Because Horizon's fantastic.
I hate this.
And it needs something.
I hate this. Because I feel like I hate this. You're right. Mario doesn't fit there. Is what feels wrong about it. You might, yeah. You might have. I was gonna vote. Or I was gonna. Yeah. I would have done Mario, but now you won me over onto Horizon, and you're predicting Horizon too.
Yes.
I predict Horizon. Your predictions make sense. What's next?
Best action game: Cuphead, Destiny 2, Neo, Prey, Wolfenstein 2. Yo, this gets hard.
Yeah, right. I don't think Destiny 2.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, again, these are all quality, amazing games. I'm not taking away anything. For me, best
Yeah.
action game, we're down to immediately Cuphead, Wolfenstein.
Knowing the people voting, I don't think they're going to vote for Destiny 2. So,
Well, do you think it deserves it?
I feel like Destiny 2 deserves something.
That's why. I mean, you should have voted for best multiplayer with me. Been on the right side of history,
no.
but
But looking at this, let's see. Cuphead. I don't think Cuphead gets this. I think Cuphead gets independent game.
I think Wolfenstein 2. This is where you honor Wolfenstein. Because it is a great action game. It
Yeah.
is. Let's fucking dual wield. Let's run. People love the story. People love the combat.
This gets hard because I haven't played Wolfenstein,
Oh, I love Wolfenstein.
but I beat the fuck out of Cuphead, and what I would vote for is Cuphead, undeniably.
Sure.
Like, it is definitely. It is a perfect action game.
Yeah.
But yeah, fuck. Prediction wise,
It's a great place to honor Wolfenstein as well.
Prediction, Wolfenstein. But yeah, my vote's Cuphead.
Okay. My vote is Wolfenstein. My prediction is Wolfenstein.
Best VR/AR game. Farpoint, Lone Echo, Resident Evil 7, Biohazard, Star Trek Bridge Crew, Super Hot VR.
Look at the fucking PlayStation VR over here, just gobbling
Just
them up.
gobbling them up.
Gobble.
Gobble, motherfuckers.
I voted Resident Evil 7. That's my vote.
Yep, I think it's my vote and prediction.
I think the thing about that of why I mean, don't get me wrong. Kevin, I heard you shout out Lone Echo, right?
So good.
We really liked Lone Echo's Echo Arena multiplayer. We went and did a Let's Play that totally didn't work, but was amazing to play and really fun. The reason Resident Evil 7 will, though, is just penetration. And not to mention the fact that it's the first VR game I played where I was like, I want to play more. I played hours and hours and hours of VR.
Dude, the reason to me it's Resident Evil 7 is this game was announced last year at E3. A sequel to Resident Evil that's going back to horror. We're going to switch it to first person that's PT inspired. There's also VR. This is the answer of, hey, this is a real VR game. It's not an experience. It's a game, and it's a Resident Evil game. It's a proper Resident Evil game. Like, and then it succeeded, and then it worked. Like, that's, I can't believe it. Totally deserves it.
Agreed.
Best handheld game. This is so easy. Ever Oasis, Fire Emblem Echo, Shadows of Valencia, Metroid Samus Returns, Monster Hunter Stories, Poochie and Yoshi's Woolly World. It's Metroid Samus Returns.
Yeah. I mean, this is one I'd abstain from, but I would predict Metroid just because, again, everybody played it, and it was great.
Yeah. Ever Oasis wasn't for me. Monster Hunter Stories I didn't play. I beat the other three, and it's clearly Metroid.
Okay.
Like Fire Emblem Echoes is just more Fire Emblem, and that's fine, but it's like a remake of Gaiden, and I didn't really like the added dungeon crawling that they did. And then Poochie and Yoshi's Woolly World was just more Woolly World that I don't think really worked on the 3DS. It couldn't really keep up.
Gotcha.
And also Metroid Samus Returns was great. Best mobile game. Fire Emblem Heroes, Hidden Folks, Monument Valley 2, Old Man's Journey, Super Mario Run. Man, I don't really have a vote here.
I would abstain here too.
I played more Fire Emblem Heroes than any others, but like even that, it just didn't grab me the way that I'd expect a Fire Emblem game to. The whole gotcha stuff isn't really for me.
I might have Old Man Journey on here.
I haven't played any other ones too. Mario Run, I wouldn't really give it to that.
No, I do have the Old
I do
Man's
enjoy
Journey on
Mario
here,
Run
which
a lot.
I saw at a preview event, liked a lot, got it downloaded, and then never played it because I just don't play mobile games unless it's Animal Crossing, and I had to pay $3.99 for some fucking tickets.
I'm gonna predict Fire Emblem Heroes.
Why?
There's a lot of people in the industry that love it and play it every day.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Alexa, Ray Korea is addicted to it.
Okay. Anybody else or just Alexa?
There's other people.
Okay.
Reset Air is all about it.
Okay. I really don't. I don't have enough information to even purchase anything.
Best independent game. Cuphead. Hellblade. Senua's Sacrifice. Night in the Woods. Pyre. What Remains of Edith Finch.
Oh, doggy. What a great year for games.
What a great year.
You want to talk about
games.
a fucking category right there? The answer is Cuphead.
The answer is Cuphead, and my prediction is Cuphead.
All these games are amazing. I know Hellblade's going to come up here in a few more conversations.
And that's why I think it's a shoo-in.
I mean, Night in the Woods, people loved. I still haven't beaten it. Pyre, I know a lot of people love. Pyre, I would say, has a shot. Hellblade has a shot. Pyre has a shot.
Cuphead's
but I feel like
so good.
Cuphead is on another level good of what people want.
It's on another level good, and on another level of just like nailing it, fucking knocking it out of the park, and trying something fucking cool and different. You can't look at that game and not be interested in it.
Yeah. Agreed.
Best ongoing game. Destiny 2, Grand Theft Auto Online, Overwatch, PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds, Rainbow Six Siege, Warframe. All right.
Another tough category.
It is tough. It's not Warframe. It's not Rainbow Six Siege.
Agreed.
It's not. Oh, I don't know.
I don't think it's Destiny 2.
People won't give it to Destiny 2. People won't give it to GTA Online.
Really?
I don't think, no. I think that's, even though it probably is the best ongoing game, I don't think.
I mean, I'm voting for and predicting PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds. But I feel like GTA is going to have more juice behind it than you think it does. Because here's the thing. This is the chance to tip your hat to GTA Online. And even if you don't play it, haven't touched it, like we hadn't until very recently when we started doing stuff, party mode, I think next week by the time you see this. Patreon.com/kindoffunnygames. You've been getting the press releases. You've been seeing the statistics. You've been seeing it atop the NPD numbers. Like,
My thing is my vote goes to GTA Online,
Interesting.
but I think that Battlegrounds wins.
I agree.
I mean, I don't know Overwatch though, but I think what did we give Overwatch earlier?
Nothing.
Yeah, I gave it to something. Oh, best esports game, but that's voted by the people. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, my vote's GTA Online. There's just so much that they added to the game. We've just been doing all those Let's Plays,
Yeah.
and they're so varied and
Today
fun.
I got a press release of, hey, like the Evil Knievel outfit's in here for like 4 days. If you logged in, I logged in. I also got a bonus of money. I'm like, fuck, I might play this over break too.
And then, yeah, predicting PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds wins. Games for Impact.
Mhm.
Bury Me, My Love, Hellblade, Senua's Sacrifice, Life is Strange Before the Storm, Night in the Woods, Please Knock on My Door, What Remains of Edith Finch. I feel like this is a little weighted towards Hellblade.
Mhm.
I think Hellblade's gonna win.
Yeah, I agree.
I haven't played any of these games, so
Oh, really?
yeah, I'm not gonna vote. But
I haven't played Bury Me, My Love, and I haven't played Please Knock on My Door. I'm voting for Hellblade, and I'm predicting Hellblade. Hellblade is a very special game. And this is somebody who played a little bit of Hellblade, but then watched Jen play the Platinum Hellblade. In terms of it wrestles with mental illness in a way video games don't. And not only does it wrestle with this and show this and talk about this, it does it in this weird, like, tribal setting. It doesn't do it in, a Night in the Woods, or Night in the Woods. I keep saying Night in the Woods is very much like a coming home story, but you're a cat, but that doesn't really matter to it, right? It is like dealing with all these different things of coming home. Life is Strange, I love. It's, as I keep saying, has no business being as good as it is. I'm fucking in. I love Chloe in it. What Remains of Edith Finch? Another great game that I enjoyed playing and had a great time with. I don't think it's all that people have made it out to be in terms of narrative. Playing it and enjoying it, knocked it out of the park. I'm not saying anything about that. Just Hellblade's doing something and shining a light in a really unique way and just being really awesome. And that's, I mean,
in addition to that, also being such a rarity of being a like AA game.
Yeah, of course.
And
Ninja
great.
Theory putting this out basically as an independent, but not really. But you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
independent. They had who published it? I forget. Doesn't matter.
Best performance: Ashley Birch as Aloy in Horizon Zero Dawn,
Aloy.
Brian Bloom as BJ Blazkowicz in Wolfenstein 2, Claudia Black as Chloe Fraser in Uncharted Lost Legacy, Laura Bailey as Nadine in Uncharted Lost Legacy, and Melina Juergens as Senua in Hellblade.
My vote is Hellblade again. Melina. It's an interesting one of she works at the studio and isn't an actress, but she's in this game and she's awesome. These facial expressions and again the performance she delivers of dealing with these voices in her head, dealing with the head on her belts, the way they wrestle. It's a really amazing performance there. That again, this is what we're talking about before, or even in all these categories that are all awesome, but like. Claudia Black's awesome. Laura Bailey's awesome. Brian Bloom's awesome. Ashley's awesome. It's like, here's this person nobody fucking knew about last year coming on just knocking it out of the park and doing this amazing performance.
Yeah. I didn't play Hellblade, so I can't speak to that. I don't think that I necessarily think any of these performances are mind-blowing to me, so like I wouldn't vote in this.
Okay.
But I predict, like you're making a good case for Hellblade, for sure. But I predict it's going to be Ashley as Aloy.
Really?
Because I think that is such a huge step for her. Even though like she's had other things in the past that people know, and I think she's even won things for. I think that this is a big step for her in a huge AAA.
100%.
game,
No,
so.
and again, she killed it. Loved her in it. We love you, Ashley. Return our calls.
Best audio design: Destiny 2, Hellblade, Resident Evil 7, Mario Odyssey, Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild.
Now, here's where it gets interesting. My personal pick is Hellblade again. I can't remember a game off the top of my head, at least in AAA in console space, that starts and is like, this is best played with headphones. And you're like, why? And then it uses 360 degrees, not of a pebble falls behind you, turn and look, but of like people whispering
Voices
in
and
your
shit.
ears and getting the hair on the back of your neck to stand up.
Mm-hmm.
However, that said, Destiny 2's soundtrack and score is obscenely good.
Well, this isn't for that though. This is just audio design.
Oh, you're right. I'm sorry. You're right. You're 100% right. So everything I just said about Destiny, save it for the next category.
Yeah.
So then, I definitely think it's going to... Audio design for me is the surround sound and how we're going to use this differently.
So I also predict Hellblade because like these other games, I just don't get it. I mean, Resident Evil 7, sure it is great. Destiny, though, the audio design, Bungie's always great with sounds and like the weight of weapons and stuff and just the way everything sounds. So it's like... Destiny 2 is a great answer. Hellblade, because of what you're saying. The thing is, did enough people play Hellblade?
See, my thing about it is, I think enough people played Hellblade that when IGN has this discussion or whoever, troop of people X played this, the people who played it will be vocal enough.
Yeah.
Because I'm the same way of like what I just said, right? Like, spoilers, its best score in music is up next. I vote Destiny 2. But audio design, it's like, what does audio design mean? Like, what does that actually mean? Like, sound effects are where they should be. The voice acting is this, is the score. And when you're putting it between music and performance, you're clearly talking about the construction of it. And the construction of Hellblade's sound is something different, special, and awesome.
Yeah, I'll predict it. You won me over.
Thanks, buddy. Cool, Greg. How's that game over there?
Still downloading.
You son of a bitch.
The Wi-Fi, I don't know.
I doubt it.
He's making up stories. You're making up stories. You're not downloading it at all. Bring me your phone. I'll download it for you. Get in there, Cool Greg. Come stand right here and play Animal Crossing behind us.
Best score / music: Cuphead, Destiny 2, Nier, Persona 5, Mario Odyssey, Zelda Breath of the Wild. So you put Destiny 2.
100%.
Destiny 2 has a great score.
Yeah.
Cuphead has fantastic music throughout the entire thing, and I want to give a shout out to it because all the vocal tracks are so authentic. All the music, every boss fight, all that stuff, it's great. But I don't think it's that much to write home about in terms of just music, the art direction, which we'll get to later, definitely. But just the music, nah. Persona 5, not familiar enough with it.
Persona 5
love the
score and soundtrack is awesome.
Zelda Breath of the Wild is interesting. I'm not going to give it to it because it's way too sparse and there's not enough going on, which is the point. By design. Because there is 2 moments. I mean, first off, the theme to Breath of the Wild is so iconic. And like,
I'm Zelda and I need your help. Like, hey, help me, Ganon's got me. What do we do? It's a organ.
It's so moving and it reminds you of the game. Anytime you hear even just a blip of it, and that's great. And I
literally can't remember it.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, if you heard it, you would
probably.
Yeah. And then towards the end of the game, the use of the score in Zelda is so great, where the whole game hasn't had that much music, and as you're going up the Hyrule Castle, the fucking theme kicks in. Yeah. Like the proper Zelda theme. I'm like, this is epic. But yeah, I wouldn't give it to that. Mario, man. Mario soundtracks are always next level. There's so much thought and love put into the orchestration and every little element of the soundtracks. Yeah. And I think that Mario Odyssey really, like, Galaxy fucking took it into space. And Galaxy soundtrack is unfuckwithable. It's so epic and grand and perfect. I feel like Odyssey has a lot of those same moments. But in addition to that, it also has a good balance of the more retro style stuff with the 2D side scrolling and the festival song and some other
New Donk
tracks.
City's end song is the one you think of. Yeah.
And that's why I give it to Odyssey. And
wow.
I think that it deserves it.
Is that your prediction to win?
My prediction to win, and
wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, here's why I think Destiny 2 wins. As you said, everybody knows Bungie does great scores, great music. When you are in the final throes of Destiny 2, like those final missions, the game ramps up, and these are the final story missions, ramps up, and there's a moment of you, I believe you're coming up this like giant elevator, and the score swells and does all this crazy shit, and you get up there, and it's like this beautiful, colorful room, kind of like think of like Thor's bridge, right? That you haven't seen really in this game, and I've played that mission myself. I've played it with other people, helping them pull through at the end of the game. I was like to myself, holy shit, this is awesome. And playing with other people, everyone who did it was like, what this is amazing. And so if you went that far with Destiny 2, where a lot of people did check out, all right, I beat the campaign, I'm done. One of your final memories is how great that sounded and how great that felt. And those, even as somebody who plays still, not religiously, but plays over and over again, light level 300 right now, whatever, no big deal. 2 trophies from platinum, no big deal. I I think that resonates with you. And I think it also speaks to something you mentioned earlier in this of, well, where do we recognize them?
Yeah.
I think this is where you recognize them. You say, all right, this is where I'm going to give Destiny the nod and the vote.
I think that the festival, because they made that song work so well in game and making such a triumphant moment, that when you talk to people about Mario Odyssey, they name that moment every single time as one of their favorites. I think that
As
it's gonna
deserved.
be in people's minds.
My thing is, I guess it's the Tale of Two Cities here in the way that with Destiny, I have that moment at the end, but I also remember being impressed other times.
Yeah.
Whereas with Mario, I have New Donk City's ending, but I don't have outside of that a time when I was like, holy shit. No, and the game's great, but I'm not at a point where I was like, holy fuck. Like a great example is, we were flying to or from Maryland now, I forget. And Jen got to New Donk City, that part there, right? And it started up and she wasn't wearing headphones. And I hit her power button, I plugged in her headphones, and I put them on. I'm like, you have to listen to this. But outside of that, as I think a lot of people probably do, play Mario, watch TV, not worry about the soundtrack because it is just Mario. No offense, it is just one of the best games ever made. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm sure a lot of people play Destiny that way too. Just fucking bullshit watching sports. Best art direction: Cuphead, Destiny 2, Horizon Zero Dawn, Persona 5, Zelda Breath of the Wild. Fuck. The answer's Cuphead. I vote for Cuphead, and I predict Cuphead's going to win.
Me too.
But damn, I mean, Destiny 2, I don't really think belongs in league with these people.
Destiny's clearly the strong number 5 there.
Yeah,
Of
exactly.
it's a good looking game. Like I said, there's beautiful things. It's Destiny 2.
But Horizon, oh my God, the
Beautiful
art
game.
direction of that game is gorgeous, and everything works, and the character models and outfits and everything, it works so well. Persona 5, over the top, super stylish.
The thing about
nails
Persona
it.
5, where it's like not a dark horse, but I think has a better shot than we might make it out to be, is the fact that it's not just the game looks beautiful. It's the way, like, I remember the first time we saw those menus and it was like, holy shit, they took the aesthetic they're building with the dialogue and the audio and they put it into the menus even of everything sliding in. How joyous it is to win a battle and do the boo-doo-boo-doo and like walk and they fucking kill it in art direction there, which is why I don't think you can look past it. However, Cuphead is a throwback fucking cartoon.
But my thing with the Cuphead is everything you just said about Persona, I think also applies to Cuphead.
Oh, I'm voting Cuphead.
Cuphead immediately gets that grab of like, this is crazy, but then the way that they commit in every little aspect of the game, I think that it easily wins this one for them. But
Agreed.
Then Breath of the Wild also, I want to give a shout out to. It's like they did a great job building that world visually and making everything feel right with the watercolory look and effects, and it's something special too. But yeah, Cuphead for sure. Best narrative: Hellblade's Newest Sacrifice, Horizon Zero Dawn, Nier Automata, What Remains of Edith Finch, and Wolfenstein 2: The New Colossus. This is another one I'm probably gonna not vote in because I haven't played Nier. And everyone talks about that story being so damn good.
Yeah.
But what do I predict?
Nier's the one I haven't played on the list. My vote, I'm doubting as I have it on here. I highlighted on this Wolfenstein 2. But I had Horizon Zero Dawn is so good.
Yeah.
So good. And again, how do you recognize a game that isn't probably going to win Game of the Year, you'd figure, for in terms of people voting? Like if I'm filling out a ballot. Because I remember Horizon Zero Dawn, the thing being when we came back to talk about it, and I was like, I can't believe how good this story was, and that I was actually invested. You know what? Yeah, I'm voting Horizon Zero Dawn.
Really?
I just flip flopped that much.
Oh man,
I'm a Nick Scarpino on this one.
I don't think Horizon Zero Dawn has a chance compared to these. I think the people that like Hellblade are going to really rock for Hellblade. The people that played Nier are going to vote for Nier. The question is, are there enough of them?
But I think I agree. I understand where you're coming from, but again, with the people who are voting on this isn't the audience. This is games journos and stuff. I feel it's going to be Horizon or Wolfenstein. And I think Wolfenstein's got a great story of BJ Blazkowicz. And that's the thing too, is like I guess we're talking, I'm already down in this thing. Between Wolfenstein and Horizon, the question comes down to, you talk about Wolfenstein 2. You talk about that opening flashback that I won't spoil for people. You talk about going forward and the holy shit, I can't believe they did that moments and the turning points they give you there and the fact that they make you care about BJ Blazkowicz, who is just this meathead guy, right? That was just a face in the original Wolfenstein, like HUD or whatever. Then Horizon is the idea that, all right, cool, Guerrilla's making an open world RPG kind of game, action game with climbing and stuff like that. We'll see how the story goes, but the story is actually interesting, is coherent, and I don't mean that in an insulting way, but just how many games get out of the things, right? Like, I remember doing the main missions and be like, fuck, I have to keep doing these. I have to know what happens. Not to mention the fact of how great Guerrilla is in Horizon Zero Dawn of world building. And I think this is why I'm going to vote Horizon Zero Dawn on this, is the fact that it's not just the main story that's great. It is me finding the messages from people and then wanting to know more about them. It is basically all those, it's like Last of Us 2 with the Ishmael story, where I find these characters that I don't even know, but I want to keep following what happened to them and how this all went. And I care about the current timeline I'm in Horizon Zero Dawn, but I care about the secondary one just as much.
Yeah. I feel like just from hearing people talk about games and reading about it and seeing forums and stuff, that I don't think Horizon's story is something that is really talked about a lot. Like, that's just a thing in a great game. So because of that, I'm going to predict, because I feel like it's between Nier and Wolfenstein. And I think it really comes down to if enough people played Nier. I'm going to predict Nier just for the fuck of it.
Okay.
Keep things interesting.
Spice it up, I say.
Spice it up,
You know what I
man.
mean?
All right, 2 more to go. Best game direction: Horizon Zero Dawn, Resident Evil 7, Mario Odyssey, Zelda Breath of the Wild, Wolfenstein 2, New Colossus. I think that my vote and the winner is Zelda.
How do you classify game direction? The sum of all the parts?
I think it's the direction of the game.
Yeah.
That's how you define things, isn't it? It's like the overall vision for the game. I would go Zelda with an honorable mention to Horizon. I don't think Wolfenstein 2 is in the conversation.
I agree. I'm gonna vote Zelda. I'm sorry. I'm gonna vote Zelda with you. And I think that I think we're both predicting then that wins, because I think that is a great game direction. Talks about all the mechanics of the game on top of the direction the game's going, but I think it is how everything comes together and how you make it. It's going to be an open world Zelda. What the fuck does that mean?
Yeah.
All right, well, it means that you're going to find food and you're going to cook it, and it means that you're going to be able to skate down the sides here. It's not, I think direction and game of the year are separate categories, and I think that's part of it. But I mean, in terms of holding everything together in a way that is different and brand new, right? Like, because Horizon is, okay, it's open world. Resident Evil is, okay, it's Resident Evil. Wolfenstein is first person shooter. Super Mario is the, spiritual successor to Galaxy and 64 and all that. How do you make that modern?
Yeah.
Whereas Zelda is, how do you make a brand new Zelda but keep it? How do you make Zelda brand new but still be Zelda?
Mm-hmm.
That's impressive.
Yeah. And then finally, game of the year: Horizon Zero Dawn, Persona 5, PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, Mario Odyssey, or Legends of Zelda: Breath of the Wild.
Here we go.
Here we go. Here we go.
Here we go.
To me,
Yeah.
I didn't play Persona 5, but looking at these, this is probably like what I am debating in my head of what my personal game of the year is as well.
Mm-hmm.
Cuphead I probably would put there as well. But Cuphead wouldn't win overall. PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds, I love it. It wouldn't win. It's between Mario and Horizon. I freaking love, but compared to Mario and Zelda, I personally don't think that it's on that caliber. Like, I see those as 10s, and I see Horizon as 9.
Mm-hmm.
Great year for video games.
Dude, 2017. What do you
Mario and Zelda, man, it's tough, and I feel like I can flip-flop. I feel like I could give it to either and be happy with that decision. But I do think, at the end of the day, I'm a Mario guy. I love Zelda, but I'm not a Zelda guy. Like I said earlier, I've beaten almost every Zelda game ever made, and I enjoy so many of them. But I've 100%ed almost every Mario game, and I go back to them, and I could tell you the differences between little things here and there, and like, I really care.
Yeah.
So like, the little Easter eggs and references and everything Odyssey does is geared towards me. Having said that, Zelda blew me the fuck away. Zelda added so much conversation and so much, how do you do this? Did you do that? And I know Mario Odyssey has that as well, but it's different. I think that Zelda is special because it starts you off, you can go wherever you want. There's 5 physics-based powers you have. Everything in the game is based around those. Go. it has its shortcomings for sure. The story is not there, and there's only 4 dungeons, and they all look very similar. To me, those are all minor things that didn't get in the way of this game being perfect, as perfect can be for video games.
Of course.
And I definitely think that Zelda Breath of the Wild is the game of the year. Mario Odyssey might be the best Mario game ever made. And that's crazy, but I still feel like as much of a success as it is, it's just a perfect Mario game. It sounds so stupid to say.
But that's the thing with this year is that's, for me, leading up to all this, right, it was Horizon and Zelda at the top of the list. And I could make a case for either one. I can make a case for either one right now to be game of the year, but Horizon was my vote. And then Mario came in, and I thought Mario just leapfrogged them both. And that's crazy for a year to have 3 games where I can sit there and totally be like, I see. Well, and even with Persona 5 is a stretch, I think, for me personally to make game of the year. Amazing game, I know, but go ahead and turn with me. But you can, and even PUBG, I can make a case for any one of these ones to be game of the year. But my vote right now is Super Mario Odyssey. And I go back, thank you, Kevin. I go back to the fact of Super Mario Odyssey is 100% joy. Like for me, there was never a moment of, what do I do? What am I supposed to do here? What am I going to, or like, because like in Zelda, and I love Zelda, and I'm not taking anything away from Zelda, there is a definitive moment I remember of like when the fucking, I remember this moment. I can't remember the moment. But when the one guy in the one town is trying to impress the girl and he wants like 100 crickets or some bullshit like that. And I was just like, all right. And I was like running around. And it was this moment of like, wait, what the fuck do I do now? Like, what do I, and I was like, I'll do that later. But then it was, well, if I don't do that now, what do I do? Like, where do I go? What do I need to do? And you run around and like, that's the game. It's open, find the next thing to do, blah, blah, blah. I don't need my hand held, but it was this moment of, I was on a plane. I was like, well, I really just want to do something. But now I got to try to figure out where to run and what direction to find something to do.
Yeah.
And on a normal, I enjoyed that game. I love that game. It wasn't, I'm talking about the minorest of gripes here, but that's what we're down to the minuscule
100%.
details. Whereas with Mario, it is, holy shit, this is going to take me 45 minutes to complete. I'm totally in for that, or I'm not. Or I just want to get some moons, or I want to just get some stickers today. Or, I mean, like.
I feel like Mario and Zelda, to me, are inverted, where Mario's campaign, whatever you want to call it, and post game, I had such different feelings about. Playing through the campaign, I'm like, wow, this is really good. But then I got to the post game, and it's like, oh, okay, here we fucking go.
Yeah.
Zelda is the opposite, where it's like playing through the campaign, I'm like, oh my God, like the story critical missions are so fucking cool, so fucking awesome. That experience is amazing. Then when I got to the post stuff, I'm like, I don't need to get every shrine.
Yeah.
I need to get every moon,
Yep.
But that's because I'm a Mario guy, not a Zelda guy. Yeah.
I mean,
is. No, it totally is.
Well, hold on, Kev, you got to get in your mic, but
Because going back to it, what I think the key to this is, I think shrines are better than moons. I think that the shrines, especially in the, well, I mean, I guess it's all depending on how you play it.
Sure.
But in my mission critical, going through Zelda, getting shrines, discovering them, finding them, figuring out that one, the puzzle of that shrine is more consistently satisfying than getting moons. So many of the moons, it's just mechanical things of like, okay, I need to do this to get there. And I mean, the fact that there's 1,000 goddamn moons means that you are doing a whole bunch of different things. But I feel like there's a lot more filler moons than there was shrines, even if a lot of the shrines were the battle, whatever. But I liked battling. Like, battling was fun. Yeah.
Okay. Kevin.
So I am not like a Mario guy. I mean, I like Mario like as I think everyone that plays games and like now, grew up with that as something like in the beginning of what they were doing. But man, I might 100% this game just because I'm enjoying it so much. I'm at 481 moons right now.
Wow.
Yeah, and I don't want to stop.
You're close to that 500.
Yeah, man, I can see like it's so exciting. And when it comes to Breath of the Wild, I have never played a Zelda game before. Holy shit, I fell in love with that game. I wanted to play it nonstop, but once I got all my stars or my hearts and was able to pull the Master Sword, getting the I didn't feel as like I needed to go and get all these temples.
Yeah.
And growing up a Sega kid, I didn't have an affinity for Mario or Zelda until Super Mario World, really Super Mario 64 even, I guess, and then Zelda with Ocarina of Time. And I think I would have told you I lean more Zelda than I do Mario for the most part. But like this game, I just felt like Mario Odyssey. I just feels I'm right there with Kev of like where, and I guess that's the thing that I'm giving it points for is the fact that when I get dropped back into Zelda when the DLC drops, it's going to be very much like, fuck, what was I doing? Who do I have? What weapons do I have?
Well, I mean,
Whereas with Mario, I do feel like, cool, I'm going to put Mario down for a month until I fly back or I fly out east for Christmas. And then I'm going to pick it back up and be like, how do I do the long jump? Got long jump. I'm ready to go. Let's find some moons.
See, but I feel like that's kind of why I'm siding with Zelda on this, because it is a little bit deeper. There is a bit more that I think when the DLC comes, they know what they're doing, I imagine, and they're going to. It feels like it's going to be more similar to something like Undead Nightmare or whatever, where everything you need to know you'll have to experience again in the Champions Ballad DLC. The first DLC pack that came out, that's what you're talking about, where it's like jumping in, not knowing what the fuck you're doing if you aren't ingrained in the Zelda world. But I feel like Mario it is so simple because it's Mario. That's the point, right?
Here, I'm sorry, go ahead. If you,
no, go for it.
My counter to that would be, and again, these are both amazing games, near perfect.
Yeah.
My counter would be, I don't know if Zelda is more complicated. I do think it's more convoluted. I know that if I was to pick back up Zelda right now and run right in and it was the battle of the old laser eye guys and get out of this shrine, it'd be like, all right, cool. I want to get out the blue sword that I have or Master Sword to fire this thing. But it would be the thing of, like, I've talked to you about one of the reasons I vote Mario over Zelda is the fact that Mario is, like I said, joy. I'm not frustrated at any point. Where I would be frustrated with Zelda, where I do something and I throw my weapon. I'm like, no, that's not what fuck. What are the buttons? What is the control scheme?
I
on this
get
thing
frustrated
again?
with Mario a lot in the post game moons. Like some of those are fucking hard, but it's good frustration.
Yeah,
And
I'm frustrated in the way.
Great frustration.
But again, because I think the Mario controls are so simple. Similar to what you're talking about, where you have the 5 powers or whatever in Zelda. I know I have the tools to do it. And that is the thing with Mario. Where
Mario, I don't like when you add the cap stuff. I can't believe I'm fighting against Mario right now. This is insane. But
I love that though.
The cap, it's great when it is, and then it's not when it's not.
But it's like for me, it was the New Donk City moon where I was at the top of the building. I looked over there. I'm like, oh, I can get to that far off one that's a death trap if I do the moon, jump to the thing, throw the cap.
Jumping's great. Jumping mobility.
You're talking about throwing the cap? Oh, you're talking about the gimmick of
capture.
Oh,
the
my
capture
apologies.
stuff.
My apologies.
It's like I feel like it ranges on when it's fun to control the enemies and when it's not fun to control the enemies. And the certain I don't want to spoil things. There's whatever. There's certain characters that just don't function the way that you'd think that they would, and it's still fucking great. But it's like I feel like it's not super pick up and play, and it's not it is just as convoluted and adds extra shit as Zelda does. Zelda has a lot of weird shit and like all the cooking and all this stuff. It's like it was fun in the moment. Going back, I don't ever want to cook again.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But I just feel like Mario is the type of game that I'll play forever until I beat it, and then it's done. Whereas Zelda, like, I did stop. I didn't get all the shrines even. You know, I didn't keep going. But it's like I feel like
But game of the year, huh?
that's fine though. I mean, you don't. I feel like game of the year doesn't mean you need to platinum it. You don't need 100%.
No, but that's the thing. I'm not a huge I don't play games. I mean, I do, but I want to keep playing Mario, and I'm gonna, because those little moments, as dumb as they are, like, okay, I had to jump to go get this thing. Like, damn, at the end of it, I felt so much satisfaction. I was like, fuck yeah. At the end, once I finished Zelda and the story was done, I didn't find any drive to like continue to do stuff. So for me, like, that's why it's just like, I'm going to play Zelda next year. I mean, I'm sorry, I'm going to play Mario next year. And that's why I think, for me, it's my game of the year.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess to me, it's just, I feel like the post-game stuff and how long you're playing and all this stuff, it's more, I've played Mario games. I've played Mario 3D World and how amazing some of the level design is and the challenges. And it's like with Mario, it's like it's more Mario. It's not just more Mario. It's more amazing Mario. Whereas Zelda, there's nothing I've experienced like it.
Sure.
But in its story, and it's good, and I just feel like once the game ends, cool.
I feel like we're gonna have this conversation again come game
We
of the year.
absolutely
So
are.
we should put a pin in this.
Yes.
You would vote Zelda.
I
would vote Mario.
I predict Zelda.
So we're predicting now. That's what I'm getting down
Yeah.
to. Here's what gets very fascinating about this choice is that I feel like there is a lot of juice behind Horizon. Like there's a good number of people who think Horizon is an amazing game and should be game of the year as well. I wonder if Mario and Zelda split the vote and then let either Horizon or Persona 5 come up. Both those I think are going to be dark horse choices and have a lot of people behind them. And that's where it gets really interesting. And this is the one I feel like the rest of them, I think it's very easy to say this is going to win or this is going to win.
Yeah.
Whereas with this one, I could easily see if they could announce any of these games and I could even PUBG. They could announce any of these games and people are going to be like, why? And it's going to be like, well, it was such an amazing fucking year. And you can make a case for any one of these games that everybody went one way on one outlet, everybody went another way over here.
Splitting the vote between Mario and Zelda is very interesting.
And that's where it gets really fucking crazy of what happens if that happens. And because then it is, like you talked about it, like it's outlets and it's streamers and it's YouTube channels and it's all the stuff. So let's check the fact that like, you know, how even on Kind of Funny Games Daily, there's this never ending argument of like, should PUBG even be nominated? Like, again, it's 2017. I feel people are going to be like, PUBG's game of the year. Nobody put more hours into things. Nobody enjoyed games more. Nobody blah, blah, blah. It changed. This indie game that came out of nowhere and did all this. PUBG is in the running for this in a real way too. Like I really do feel like game of the year is too close to call.
Yeah.
If I had to predict, I'm going to predict Zelda because I do think I feel like I think Zelda, one of the strengths of Zelda is the fact that it came out early. From the moment it came out, everyone was like, this is revolutionary. And we've had close to a year, 9 months or whatever, to build the narrative of like, holy shit, this game was incredible.
Yeah.
And so even though Mario is incredible, it's coming in late being incredible. And it's like, we expect it to be incredible because it's Mario.
Man. It goes against itself though, because like I feel like there's been enough time since Zelda that there is a lot of people
It's not as good as you think it
deflating the
is.
hype.
Yeah.
Like, you know, because it's like the tide shift and it's easy to be like, when it first came out, this is the best Zelda ever. And then people are like, it's not the best Zelda ever.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's the splitting vote thing would happen between Mario and Zelda because I feel like at the end of the day, if you enjoy one of those games, you probably enjoy the other. And I imagine a lot of outlets having this same conversation where it's like, yeah, I am totally fine with either of those games. I think both of them deserve it. We'll see. We'll see.
Well, your prediction is Zelda.
Zelda.
My prediction is Zelda as well, but I'm not going to be shocked if Persona 5 pops up and all of a sudden it has it.
Imagine Persona 5 got game of the fucking year.
I mean, again,
At the
it's
Game
the
Awards.
point of they're all. I mean, like, you know, how often do you see, with all due respect, Ashley Jenkins tweeting about a PlayStation exclusive? You know what I mean? She was all over Persona 5 to the point that I remember her going back and playing Persona. She bought a Vita to play Persona 4 Golden after the fact.
Wow.
I might be confusing those facts. Kindoffunny.com/you're wrong. Just kidding. I won't look at it. Ashley just called me.
All right. Well, let us know in the comments what you think the game of the year will be. Not what you want it to be, what you predict it'll be here at the Game Awards. We'll be doing a live watch along of it. You will be there.
I'll be there.
So you won't be on it, but it'll be me and Andy doing responses. Nick might be there. Who the fuck knows? We like to
He'll walk in every so often, eat beef jerky, have nothing really to contribute. It'll be great.
Exactly. It'll be fantastic. But yeah, love you guys. We'll see you next week. If you're watching this, happy yesterday Thanksgiving. If you're watching on Patreon, and happy last week Thanksgiving if you're not.
And if you're watching live, we'll do the post show right after this. And if you're not watching live, you should support us on patreon.com/kindoffunnygames and support us there, and then you get to do it. Remember, PSX is coming up, and we have cool things planned. Be ready
Vote for Andrew.
Andrew Renee, vote for her
Trending
right now. Vote Trending Gamer. Trending Gamer vote, put it into Google, and it pops out. Remember that I have a Twitter. Game Over Greggy, follow me.
Well, that was a riveting discussion. You can click here to subscribe to Kind of Funny Games. You can click here to subscribe to Kind of Funny. You can click here to throw some dollars our way on Patreon, and we'd really support that. And guess what? Over here, another Patreon. Support us even more.